या नहीं स्वस्थ है। फिलहाल देखिए यहाँ पर रेस्क्यू टीम काफी ज्यादा संख्या में मौजूद है, तो यहाँ पर कुछ भी स्पष्ट नहीं देख पा रहे। तो देख पा रहे हैं आप, डीएम यहाँ पर मौके पर मौजूद है और स्ट्रेचर मौके पर रखा हुआ है। डॉक्टर्स की टीम भी मौके पर है और देखिए डॉक्टर्स भी यहाँ पर मौजूद है। और जैसे ही इस बच्चे को बाहर लाया जाएगा, स्ट्रेचर पर ले जाया जाएगा और सीधे अस्पताल ले जाया जाएगा, ये देखने के लिए कि बच्चा स्वस्थ है या नहीं स्वस्थ है, उसको कहाँ कितनी गहरी चोटें आई हैं। क्योंकि सबसे बड़ी बात, बच्चा 55 फीट गहरे गड्ढे में जा गिरा था, तो जाहिर तौर पर उसको चोटें जरूर आई होंगी। तो बच्चे को कहाँ पर चोटें आई है, कितनी चोटें आई हैं, बच्चे को कितना नुकसान पहुंचा है, उसके स्वास्थ्य पर कितना प्रभाव पड़ा है। क्योंकि बच्चा ना तो बोल पाता है और ना ही सुन पाता है, बच्चा मूक बधिर है। उसके लिए एक मासूम बच्चे के लिए ये सबसे बड़ी मुश्किल रही और यहाँ पर टीमों के लिए भी सबसे बड़ी चुनौती रही कि किस तरह से बच्चे को जल्द से जल्द बाहर निकालना है। और ये सीधी तस्वीरें आप देख पा रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर टीमें अब पूरी तरीके से तैयार है और सक्रियता आप बढ़ती हुई देख पा रहे हैं कि सभी को इंतजार है कि कब बच्चे को यहाँ से बाहर निकालें, यहाँ से बाहर निकाल के अस्पताल पहुंचाएं और अस्पताल में जाकर के पता चल सकेगा जब डॉक्टर्स बताएंगे कि बच्चे के स्वास्थ्य पर कैसा प्रभाव पड़ा है, बच्चे को कहीं गहरी ज्यादा चोटें तो नहीं आई हैं। देखिए किस तरह से यहाँ पर आप प्रशासनिक अधिकारियों की भी हलचल देख पा रहे हैं। प्रशासनिक अधिकारी यहाँ पर मौजूद है, एडीएम यहाँ पर मौजूद हैं और एडीएम भी खुद देखिए इस पूरे घटना पर नजर रखे हुए थे और अभी भी ये सक्रियता देखी जा रही है। और देखिए आप तस्वीरें देख पा रहे हैं, सीधी तस्वीरें हम आपको दिखा रहे हैं कि यहाँ पर जो रस्सी है, देखिए रस्सी का इस्तेमाल किया गया था। इसी रस्सी से ये जो उपकरण था वो बांधा गया था और अम्ब्रेला इक्विपमेंट था वो बांधा गया था और उसी के जरिए बच्चे को बाहर लाया गया। अब ये देखिए थोड़ी ही देर में बच्चे को बाहर यहाँ पर स्ट्रेचर पर लाया जा सकता है। फिलहाल इंतजार हो रहा है कि कब बच्चे को बाहर लाया जाए, क्योंकि डॉक्टर्स यहाँ पर मौके पर मौजूद है, अधिकारीगण यहाँ पर मौजूद है और इंतजार है कि कब इस माविया को, इस बच्चे को कब बाहर लाया जा सकेगा। जो सभी की प्रार्थनाएं थी वो यहाँ पर फिलहाल देखा जा रहा है कि जो प्रार्थनाएं थी कि कब बच्चे को बाहर निकाला जा सके, उसे पूरी तरीके से सुरक्षित बाहर निकाला जा सके। अब ये बड़ा सवाल है कि बच्चा क्या पूरी तरीके से सुरक्षित है, क्या उसको कहीं चोटें तो नहीं आई हैं, उसके स्वास्थ्य पर तो कोई प्रभाव नहीं पड़ा है। क्योंकि बच्चा सिर्फ रो सकता है, कुछ बोल नहीं सकता, अपनी तकलीफें नहीं बता सकता, वो अपने सिर्फ रो कर ही अपने दर्द को बयां कर सकता है, कुछ भी नहीं बोल सकता है बच्चा। तो यहाँ पर ये बड़ा सवाल बना हुआ है कि कैसे आखिर अब जो इस ऑपरेशन को सफल फिलहाल बनाया गया है, क्या वाकई में ये ऑपरेशन सफल हो पाएगा। और ये तब पता चलेगा जब ये मालूम पड़ पाएगा कि बच्चा पूरी तरीके से स्वस्थ है। तो आप लगातार सीधी तस्वीरें देख पा रहे हैं, ये जो बच्चा तकरीबन 12:15 पर इस गड्ढे में गिरा था, जो 35 साल पुराना कुआं था और उसी के पास में एक बोरवेल था, जो कि इस्तेमाल में 10 साल से नहीं लाया जा रहा था। और इसी बोरवेल में बच्चा खेलते खेलते जा गिरा। जब आसपास के बच्चे थे उन्होंने देखा, लगातार रोने की भी आवाजें आ रही थी उस बच्चे की, क्योंकि कुछ बोल नहीं सकता था, चिल्ला भी नहीं सकता था, तो लगातार रोने की आवाजें आ रही थी। और सूचित किया गया माता पिता को, और जब टीमों को सूचित किया गया, पुलिस की टीम को सूचित किया गया, उसके बाद हापुड़ के तमाम प्रशासनिक अधिकारी भी यहाँ पर पहुंचते हैं और रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन लगातार जारी रहा। 3 घंटे से ज्यादा का ये वक्त बीत चुका था जब रेस्क्यू ऑपरेशन लगातार जारी रहा। और ये देख पा रहे हैं आप तस्वीरों में कि ये यहाँ पर दिखाई दे रहा है कि बच्चे को लगभग अब यहाँ पर कभी भी इस स्ट्रेचर पर लाया जा सकता है, यानी कि बच्चा अब लगभग बाहर आ चुका है, क्योंकि यहाँ पर हलचल बढ़ चुकी थी। तो ऐसे में अंदाजा लगाया जा रहा है कि बच्चा अब तकरीबन बाहर आ चुका है और यहाँ पर अब लोगों को देखिए इंतजार भी है कि कब बच्चा यहाँ से ले जाया जाएगा अस्पताल में और तब जानकारी मिलेगी कि क्या वाकई में बच्चा सुरक्षित है या नहीं सुरक्षित है, क्योंकि हर तरह का प्रयास इन टीमों ने किया। ऑक्सीजन सप्लाई की जा रही थी लगातार और दूध भी पीने के लिए इस बच्चे को दिया गया। लेकिन सबसे बड़ी बात कि ये नगर पालिका का जो बोरवेल है ये कई सालों से जब इस्तेमाल में नहीं लाया जा रहा था तो इसे ढका क्यों नहीं किया। यहाँ पर इस बड़ी लापरवाही के चलते ही ये बच्चा इस बोरवेल में जा गिरा।
All right, Anjali is getting us top updates. So viewers, as we reported live on this story, as we were live from the rescue site in Hapur, the child has now been rescued from the 55 feet Borewell. It was a 3-hour operation, but the child has been rescued. Good news coming in, viewers. The child has now been rescued. This is an incident which is coming in from Uttar Pradesh's Hapur. But let's move on to the other big story we're tracking on Republic TV today. This is a Republic campaign, a campaign that fights for justice. Justice for those who are a victim of civic apathy. Bengaluru woke up to tragic news. A woman and her 2.5-year-old son died, while her husband and daughter were injured after an under-construction metro pillar fell onto their two-wheeler. When Republic confronted the BMRC LMD who was responsible for the incident, he shunned away the responsibility. When we asked him, when we went ahead, we asked him, Republic TV's Prajwal confronted him. He said if he would step down, he said the most bizarre reply. On being asked whether he will resign, the BMRC LMD gave the most bizarre reply. Listen in to what he told Republic TV.
Sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post? This is also something which is being heard now. Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
The people are questioning here, sir. It's the people who are going on.
No, definitely. If any this kind of incident happens, everybody has to be questioned.
Right.
Then only the whatever is the further action has to be taken, it will be taken.
Meanwhile, the CM Bomai has also spoken on the incident and said that he will look into the incident.
ನನಗೆ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಗೊತ್ತು, ಅದು ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಯಾಕೆ ಬಿತ್ತು ಏನು ಬಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಆ ಕಾರಣನೂ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂಥ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ನನಗಿನ್ನೂ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ.
So first and foremost, what exactly happened? At what time did this particular incident happen?
Exactly सुबह में 10 बजे 5 मिनट पर exactly एक 2-व्हीलर आ रहा था. 5 दिन पहले से इनको बोल रहे थे हम पिलर गिर रहा है बोल के, उसका कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं था. उसके बाद 10 घंटे 5 मिनट पे एक 2-व्हीलर आया. 2-व्हीलर में एक फैमिली आ रहे थे, एक वाइफ, हस्बैंड और एक बेबी के साथ आ रहे थे. वो बच्चा और वाइफ इधर पिलर गिरने की वजह से ऑन स्पॉट डेथ हो गए. उसके बाद वो भी हस्बैंड भी वेरी सीरियस है. इधर का पब्लिक ने जम के अपोजिट एक हॉस्पिटल था, हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट करने के लिए बोला, तभी वो कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं किया. इधर बैरिकेड तक ओपन नहीं किया और कोई पुलिस भी सपोर्ट नहीं किया, कोई ये इसका डिपार्टमेंट वाला भी कोई सपोर्ट नहीं किया. नो वन टेकन केयर. उसके बाद भी पब्लिक ने हॉस्पिटल जब तक एडमिट किया तो ऑलरेडी स्पॉट आउट हो गए थे दोनों. इधर का माहौल देखने के बाद ये गवर्नमेंट को सिर्फ प्रॉफिट चाहिए और उनके फैमिलीज का सेफ्टी देखते हैं. पब्लिक का जान गया भी तक कोई फर्क नहीं गिरता है. पब्लिक का वैल्यू ही नहीं है. पब्लिक बोले तो एक चिमटी मकोड़े जैसा इनका वैल्यू है. तो इसका कोई भी रिएक्शन लेंगे. अभी हम सुवर्ण कर्नाटक जनशक्ति वेदी से शाकिर अहमद बात कर रहा हूँ. अभी हमने
Sir, since how many days have you been complaining to the authorities, going on to state that this particular structure which is right behind us is leaning, because it can even fall on us as well, because this is quite dangerous ground. Since how many days has the complaint been given to?
Sir, past 7 days. From past 7 days, we are requesting to. who is in charge for this project? We explained every officers, but no one has response and no one has supported us. We asking from past 1 week, but no one care. Now today two lives as a death. After that only 2 आदमी मरने के बाद अभी होश आ रहा है तो उनको हाँ अभी वो करेंगे ये करेंगे. 2 जान जाने के बाद 2 आदमी मरने के बाद अभी वो डिसीजन लेने का सोच रहे. अभी भी नो वन इज दिस पार्ट में 2 जान जाने के बाद भी अभी कोई भी जिनका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कोई भी नहीं है.
10:15 मेरे को एक कॉल आ गया मेरे बच्चे से कि वो रूटीन में तो ऑफिस जाता है 10 बजे. 10-15 मिनट के बाद उसका फ़ोन आया कि ऐसा घटना हो गया है. कि घटना क्या हुआ तो नहीं बता, लेकिन वो बोला कि एक्सीडेंट हुआ, आप जल्दी इस हॉस्पिटल पे आएगा. तो मैं हॉस्पिटल के लिए निकला घर से. वो हॉस्पिटल से मेरे को 5-6 किलोमीटर है. 5-6 किलोमीटर तक आने तक उस रोड पे मैं आ रहा था, जो रोड इस वजह से ब्लॉक हो गया था कि मेरे को अंदाज नहीं था कि इसी वजह से रोड ब्लॉक हुआ. कि रोड की मैं आ रहा था, वो आधा घंटा फंस गया मैं उस रोड में. मेरे बच्चा तो बार बार फ़ोन लगा रहा था कि ऐसा घटना हो गया है, आप जल्दी आइए. तो मैं मेरा व्हीकल स्कूटर भी आ रहा था मैं मेरे छोटे बच्चे से लेकर, लेकिन मैं वापस किसी तरह से उस निकला, सर्विस रोड से घुसा, कहीं रोड रास्ते डाइवर्ट करके वो हॉस्पिटल तक पहुंचा. जब तक हमारे जो छोटी जान थी, पोता था और मेरी बहू थी, उसकी जान चली गई थी. ऐसा रिपोर्ट दिया डॉक्टर ने, लेकिन जो काम हुआ वो नहीं होना था. यह अभी हमारे साथ हुआ. एक इसमें अभी बड़ा हादसा हो सकता था, क्योंकि उस वक्त उसी जो बेमारसी का जो काम चल रहा है, उसी ठीक नीचे उनके जो लेबर्स हैं काम कर रहे थे, उनका कोई नहीं हुआ. ये जो रास्ते पे चल रहे थे, व्हीकल्स चल रहे थे इधर उधर से, वो जो गिरा, वो 60 फुट का जो पिलर, उसको जो ठीक से उसका सपोर्ट नहीं दिया था. ऐसा ये भी कारण हो सकता है कि आजू बाजू में व्हीकल्स जाते रहते हैं, 4 व्हीलर्स 2 व्हीलर्स, उसके स्पीड के हिसाब से वो वाइब्रेट हो सकता है, हिल सकता है. वो हिलने से गिर गया होगा.
Breaking news coming in. DGCA India issues choke-off notice to Go First Airways from Bengaluru to Delhi flight of January 9th, which took off, leaving behind 55 passengers in the passenger coach at Bengaluru airport. Viewers, let's go to Harsha. Harsha is joining us live. Harsha, now this incident happened. The flight allegedly had left over 50 passengers, and now the DGCA has taken cognizance and issued a notice to Go First Airlines and sought a report. What are the details are we learning?
Shivangi, and it is very horrifying for the passengers because they were at the tarmac. They had already boarded the shuttle for the aircraft, and they did all the security check-ins, all the check-in gates they have crossed. Now they were going to board the aircraft. They were in the shuttle bus of the Go First when the aircraft just left, leaving them in the shuttle bus. The shuttle bus was there, which was going to reach the aircraft, and before that it left. And the entire thing could be seen because many passengers tweeted it on social media that the Civil Aviation Minister, PMO India, and asked what sort of behavior of the airlines. They all paid for it. And now DGC has taken cognizance of this entire incident and issued a show-cause notice to the Go First Airlines, and they have seized the reports in 2 weeks from the airlines. They have literally told the airlines Go First that they have to submit a report to the regulator DGCA in the span of 2 weeks. They have to tell why did the airline did this, why did the pilots miss the passenger. They were not 1, 2, but 54 passengers who were in the shuttle bus, and the aircraft left leaving them, and they were given another flight after 4 hours. There were many passengers who were stranded in the shuttle bus. They didn't know why the aircraft went away. While they did all the security check-ins, they reached at the check-in gates. They had done their security gates. They have already passed. They were going to the aircraft, and before that, this is entirely negligence of the airline which is coming these days, and it is very shocking to see such kind of behavior from the airline. So the regulator, after seeing that how passengers are tweeting on social media and have been reporting about this entire incident, so the regulator has now strictly told the airlines that they have to submit a report in the past 2 weeks and has clearly issued a show cause notice. Shivangi, back to you.
All right, Harsha, thank you for getting us all the details. So viewers, a Go First flight to Delhi, which has left from Bengaluru, had left more than 50 passengers behind. And now, DGCA has issued a notice to Go First Airways saying that please respond and reply within 2 weeks about what happened. And of course, viewers, let's move on to the other stories we're tracking on Republic TV.
The process has already started. There you can see on that very pole of electricity how the wires has been cut now and the electricity has been stopped. On my left there is one more building where we have seen this was the announcement which was done by the official there. He was indicating that you will have to leave the place. You will have to go now. You will have to leave as the process is going to start. So these are the live images coming in from the ground as this was the first of its kind when we are talking about this kind of cracks which was seen, when we are talking about the building which was tilted. The two buildings, I'll go again toward that. The two buildings which has already tilted, these are two hotels. One is Malari Inn, one is Mount View. And there you can see the situation. I'll ask my video journalist Sundar Shah to give you more clarity with the shots, and there we can clearly see what exactly the condition is. And as being looked up by the people over here, the expert over here, this has been informed, this has been told that this is very important to demolish the property. But behind this, if you talk about particular property, then behind these are the residences, these are the houses. So that houses has been already evacuated.
देखिए कि इस पूरी प्रक्रिया में समय लगेगा और आज ही ये कार्रवाई पूरी नहीं हो पाएगी। आज से इसकी शुरुआत है और इस शुरुआत में चूंकि ये मुख्य सड़क है जोशीमठ की, ट्रैफिक को डाइवर्ट किया गया है, इसकी जद में आने वाली अन्य आबादी को खाली कराया गया है और आज अभी कुछ समय बाद जब सारी चीजें हो जाएंगी तो उसके बाद ये कार्रवाई शुरू होगी जो कई दिनों तक चलेगी।
सर, ये कितनी प्रॉपर्टी अभी इन्हीं दो प्रॉपर्टी जो दो होटल है
पहले चरण में इन दो को चिन्हित किया गया है।
अच्छा, और कहां से इवैक्यूएशन का प्रोसेस हुआ है सर, इसको देखते हुए
इसके ठीक पीछे की जो सिंगधार कॉलोनी है जिसे उर्गम कॉलोनी कहते हैं उसे पूरी तरह खाली कराया गया है। सड़क के 50 मीटर तक जो रहने वाले लोग हैं उन्हें भी एहतियातन खाली कराया जा रहा है और बाकी उसको बैरिकेड करके ये कार्रवाई होगी।
Thanks, sir. This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
People are questioning.
After a young mother and her small son lost their lives, BMRCL gives the most brazen response.
बोल रहे थे हम पिलर गिर रहा है बोल के, उसका कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं था। उसके बाद 10 घंटे 5 मिनट पे एक टू व्हीलर आया, वो बच्चा और वाइफ इधर पिलर गिरने की वजह से ऑन स्पॉट डेथ हो गए।
Plus, eyewitness says they had warned the authorities. Were they waiting for the tragedy to happen? Stay tuned to Republic TV.
Thousands of nurses have gone on strike at 2 of New York City's major hospitals. The walkout began on Monday after contract negotiations stalled over staffing and salaries nearly 3 years into the coronavirus pandemic. Nearly 3,500 nurses at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx and about 3,600 at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan have gone on strike.
So the nurses at Mount Sinai have basically come together to say that we're tired of being exploited, we're tired of our patients being abused, and most of all, we're tired of seeing them not get the care they deserve. We came into nursing to take care of people because we care about them. We come from compassion. And it's very difficult to come into the hospital every single day and know that we're not able to give them the care that they truly deserve. These hospitals have shown that all they care about is profits, but we are no longer treating patients like transactional items. They are people and they deserve respect, and that's why we're out here striking. It's not about money, it's actually about saving lives.
The privately owned hospitals have postponed non-emergency surgeries, diverted ambulance to other medical centers, and assigned administrators with nursing backgrounds to work in wards in order to cope with the walkout.
We're working hard. We worked through the pandemic and we have short staffing. They brought in traveler nurses. It doesn't fill the gap. We still have a bunch of vacancies and we're overworked. So we really need, and it's hard on the patients because we need safe staffing for them. So we're fighting for staffing, reimbursements, health benefits. They're trying to take away some of their benefits, but we need safe staffing. We're tired. We're doing a great job. We're trying to get through a triple pandemic now. It doesn't stop.
Agency report for Republic TV.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protests at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen fly. Viewers, top headlines at 5:30. Civic apathy crushes 2 to death in Bengaluru as an under-construction metro pillar falls on the family of 4.
Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you
Will you
feel
take moral responsibility, sir?
if you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to
People are
resign.
questioning.
But when asked to take accountability, BMRCL gives out the most brazen response. Republic accesses a moment of the pillar collapse on CCTV.
बोल रहे थे हम पिलर गिर रहा है बोल के उसका कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं था। उसके बाद 10 घंटे 5 मिनट पे एक 2 व्हीलर आया, वो बच्चा और वाइफ इधर पिलर गिरने की वजह से ऑन स्पॉट डेथ हो गए।
Eyewitness says they had warned the authorities. Were they waiting for the tragedy to happen?
उनको कम से कम उनकी ट्रेजेडी दुनिया तक पहुंची और एक इतने बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म पे उनके बारे में बात होगी तो हम उनके जख्मों को तो हम भर नहीं सकते, लेकिन एटलीस्ट उनको गले लगा सकते हैं।
Then back to lobby. Kashmir Files is on the shortlist of Oscars along with multiple Indian films. Viewers, we're live and breaking this Tuesday evening. I'm Shivangi Shukla, and this is the Republic campaign. The campaign to crush civic apathy. A campaign that fights for justice. Justice for those who are a victim of civic apathy. Bengaluru woke up to tragic news. A woman, a very young woman, a mother, and a 2.5-year-old son died while her husband and daughter were injured after an under-construction metro pillar fell on their two-wheeler. I'm being joined right now by Prajwal, who's joining us live. Prajwal, you have been tracking the story very closely. And what we are highlighting here is a response which was given by the Bangalore Metro Rail Corporation Limited, MD, who launched an unapologetic defense of the quality, quote-unquote, quality of his company's work after an under-construction metro pillar collapsed in Bengaluru city. Do we have any more updates right now?
Shivangi, now so far there has been no sort of updates which has come in from the BMRCL after the confrontation with Republic, and now more of, even if you're looking right behind me, Shivangi, we can clearly go on and see the fact that this pillar is still hanging in a rather dangerous manner, and we are still waiting for the authorities as to when they will remove, because we have clearly gone on and demanded the BMRCL MD that this particular scaffolding, this particular pillar will have to be removed because it is again putting the lives of many commuters at risk as well, Shivangi. Because even if you look, even if you look behind me, there are vehicles which are traveling right behind me. But also because of the fact that that this particular pillar has not been removed, it is endangering the lives of a lot of public here. So we want the BMRCL to immediately come here, take some sort of action and remove this particular pillar as well. But it has been over 6 hours since this particular incident has come to light. It has been 8 hours, in fact, Shivangi, a little over 7.5 hours. But this pillar is yet to be removed, and we are still waiting as to when they will act on it, because we are still stating that the lives of many innocent motorists and citizens is still at danger over here if they do not remove this particular pillar. So we will wait for the authorities to take action and remove this pillar. And will there be any sort of concrete action which will be taken against this construction company, which is the Nagarjuna Corporation? NCC is the name of this particular company. Yes, there has already been an FIR registered under section 337, 338 and 338 and several other sections too, which is coming 304A as well. But all of them are bailable offences. They will get off easily with the battery of lawyers, with the battery of attorneys. They will get away easily. So one of the major questions is there a watertight case that is being put in here? Because now we understand that the victim's husband, who was also injured, has gone on to issue a verbal statement, and therefore an FIR has already been filed at the Govindpura police station. But still now there has been no sort of action that has been taken. The contractor has neither been named nor shamed over here, and we do not know as to why is the contractor still being defended by the BMRCL, which states that it will only take action after a technical report comes out in this particular tragedy which took place this morning. Shivangi, over to you in the studios.
Absolutely. Right. And you confronted the BMRCL MD. You confronted him. You posed him very tough questions when you asked that whether he will step down. He said with a smirk that will me stepping down bring back those who lost their lives? Well, let's play out that conversation that Prajwal had with the BMRCL MD.
Sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post? This is also something which is being heard now. Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
The people are questioning here, sir. It's the people who are going on.
No, definitely. If any this kind of incident happens, everybody has to be questioned.
Right.
Then only whatever is the further action has to be taken, it will be taken.
ನನಗೆ ಈಗ ತಾನೇ ನೀವು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುದ್ದಿ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಅದು ವಿಚಾರಣೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಯಾಕೆ ಬಿತ್ತು ಏನು ಬಿತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಆ ಕಾರಣನೂ ಕೇಳ್ಕೊತೀವಿ, ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಏನು ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು ಅದು ಕೂಡ ಕೊಡ್ತೇವೆ. ಸಂಪೂರ್ಣವಾದಂಥ ಮಾಹಿತಿ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮತ್ತೊಮ್ಮೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೇವೆ. ನನಗಿನ್ನೂ ಏನು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ.
So first and foremost, what exactly happened? At what time did this particular incident happen?
Exactly सुबह में 10 बजे 5 मिनट पर एग्जैक्टली एक 2 व्हीलर आ रहा था. 5 दिन पहले से इनको बोल रहे थे हम पिलर गिर रहा है बोल के. उसका कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं था. उसके बाद 10 घंटे 5 मिनट पे एक 2 व्हीलर आया. 2 व्हीलर में एक फैमिली आ रहे थे, एक वाइफ, हस्बैंड और एक बेबी के साथ आ रहे थे. वो बच्चा और वाइफ इधर पिलर गिरने की वजह से ऑन स्पॉट डेथ हो गए. उसके बाद वो भी हस्बैंड भी वेरी सीरियस है. इधर का पब्लिक ने जम के अपोजिट एक हॉस्पिटल था, हॉस्पिटल में एडमिट करने के लिए बोला, तभी वो कोई रेस्पॉन्स नहीं किया. इधर बैरिकेड तक ओपन नहीं किया और कोई पुलिस भी सपोर्ट नहीं किया, कोई ये इसका डिपार्टमेंट वाला भी कोई सपोर्ट नहीं किया. नो वन टेकन केयर. उसके बाद भी पब्लिक ने हॉस्पिटल जब तक एडमिट किया तो ऑलरेडी स्पॉट आउट हो गए थे दोनों. इधर का माहौल देखने के बाद ये गवर्नमेंट को सिर्फ प्रॉफिट चाहिए और उनके फैमिलीज का सेफ्टी देखते हैं. पब्लिक का जान गया भी तो कोई फर्क नहीं गिरता है. पब्लिक का वैल्यू ही नहीं है. पब्लिक बोले तो एक चुमटी मकोड़े जैसा इनका वैल्यू है. तो इसका कोई भी रिएक्शन लेंगे. अभी हम सुवर्ण कर्नाटक जनशक्ति वेदी से शाकिर अहमद बात कर रहा हूँ. अभी हमने
Sir, since how many days have you been complaining to the authorities, going on to state that this particular structure which is right behind us is leaning, because it can even fall on us as well, because this is quite dangerous ground. Since how many days has the complaint been given to?
Sir, past 7 days, from past 7 days, we are requesting to, who is in charge for this project. We explained every officers, but no one has response and no one has supported us. We asking from past 1 week, but no one care. Now today two lives as a death. After that only 2 आदमी मरने के बाद अभी होश आ रहा है तो उनको हाँ अभी वो करेंगे ये करेंगे. 2 जान जाने के बाद 2 आदमी मरने के बाद अभी वो डिसीजन लेने का सोच रहे. अभी भी नो वन इज दिस पार्ट में 2 जान जाने के बाद भी अभी कोई भी जिनका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कोई भी नहीं है.
10:15 मेरे को एक कॉल आ गया मेरे बच्चे से कि वो रूटीन में तो ऑफिस जाता है 10 बजे. 10-15 मिनट के बाद उसका फोन आया कि ऐसा घटना हो गया है. कि घटना क्या हुआ तो नहीं बता, लेकिन वो बोला कि एक्सीडेंट हुआ, आप जल्दी इस हॉस्पिटल पे आएगा. तो मैं हॉस्पिटल के लिए निकला घर से. वो हॉस्पिटल से मेरे को 5-6 किलोमीटर है. 5-6 किलोमीटर तक आने तक उस रोड पे मैं आ रहा था, जो रोड इस वजह से ब्लॉक हो गया था कि मेरे को अंदाज नहीं था कि इसी वजह से रोड ब्लॉक हुआ. कि रोड की मैं आ रहा था, वो आधा घंटा फंस गया मैं उस रोड में. मेरे बच्चा तो बार बार फ़ोन लगा रहा था कि ऐसा घटना हो गया है, आप जल्दी आइए. तो मैं मेरा व्हीकल स्कूटर पे आ रहा था मैं मेरे छोटे बच्चे से लेकर, लेकिन मैं वापस किसी तरह से उस निकला, सर्विस रोड से घुसा, कहीं रोड रास्ते डाइवर्ट करके वो हॉस्पिटल तक पहुंचा. जब तक हमारे जो छोटी जान थी, पोता था और मेरी बहू थी, उसकी जान चली गई थी. ऐसा रिपोर्ट दिया डॉक्टर ने, लेकिन जो काम हुआ वो नहीं होना था. यह अभी हमारे साथ हुआ किसी अभी बड़ा हादसा हो सकता था, क्योंकि उस वक्त उसी जो बीएमआरसी का जो काम चल रहा है उसी ठीक नीचे वो उनके जो लेबर्स हैं काम कर रहे थे, उनका कोई नहीं हुआ. ये जो रास्ते पे चल रहे थे, व्हीकल्स चल रहे थे इधर उधर से, वो जो गिरा, वो 60 फुट का जो पिलर उसको जो ठीक से उसका सपोर्ट नहीं दिया था. ऐसा ये भी कारण हो सकता है कि आजू बाजू में व्हीकल्स जाते रहते हैं, 4 व्हीलर्स 2 व्हीलर्स, उसके स्पीड के हिसाब से वो वाइब्रेट हो सकता है, हिल सकता है. वो हिलने से गिर गया होगा, ये तो मैं नहीं जानता, लेकिन मेरे तो ऐसा गेसिंग है कि वो हो सकता है. उसको जो स्पीड से आजू बाजू के रोड से जो व्हीकल जा रहे हैं उससे ऐसा घटना हो सकता है. अभी आगे ऐसा घटना ना हो, इसके लिए सरकार उसको ठीक से देखे, उसको जांच करे, उसके बाद उसको काम स्टार्ट करे.
आपका मांग क्या है सर? बीएमआरसीएल को क्या
बीएमआर अभी जो घटना हुआ है वो अनसाइंटिफिकली हुआ है. हमारे जो जान, वो छोटी सी जान थी, वो हमारा दिल का कलेजा था, उसको उसकी मौत हो गई है. इस मौत को कौन भरपाई कर सकता है? क्या सरकार? कौन भर सकता है? कोई बीएमआरसी भी नहीं कर सकता. लेकिन हम इसको कानून तरीके से इसका निपटाएंगे हम.
आपका नाम सर?
All right, viewers, the Russian airliner Azure Air, which made an emergency landing due to a false report of a bomb on board, has now landed safely in Goa. I repeat, has landed safely in Goa. The Russian Consulate General in Mumbai said this, and Russian officials are confirming the landing of that plane. Remember, viewers, that this incident has come in. Remember that this flight, Azure Air, was on its way from Moscow to Goa. It was diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar. Alleged bomb scare. There was an alleged bomb scare. This has happened yesterday, viewers. And right now we had got you updates that nothing suspicious was found inside that plane. Nothing suspicious was found inside that plane. But now we can confirm that this flight has landed in Goa. The Russian airliner Azure Air, which made an emergency landing due to a false report of a bomb on board, has now landed in Goa, viewers. time for a very short break. We continue to be live and breaking. Much more coming up on the other side. Stay tuned. Eyewitness says they had warned the authorities. Were they waiting for the tragedy to happen in Bengaluru? Sent back to the lobby now. Kashmir Files is on the shortlist of Oscars along with multiple Indian films. Stay tuned.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protests at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region. And North America summit kickstarts in Mexico. Biden and Trudeau arrive for ceremony. Arsenal defeats Oxford 3-0 to set up Man City showdown in FA Cup 4th round. Statements of two crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar after Goa air traffic controller received a bomb threat. Second round of luggage checking went on earlier and nothing suspicious has been found yet. Authorities will be letting the flight leave for Goa by 10 a.m. Assam government holding yet another massive eviction drive in Lakhimpur in Assam. This time the eviction drive is being held at Pabho Reserve Forest in Lakhimpur, which has been under encroachment since.
We are live and breaking. NASA Assam government crackdown against illegal encroachments continues. Eviction drive is right now set to begin in a district called Lakhimpur of Assam. Heavy deployment of the police personnel and around 501 hectares to be cleared out of the 4,600 hectares of encroached land. Let's play out this report by my colleague Aniruddha.
Illegal encroachment, or there was no political will as far as freeing this encroached land is concerned. But now we can see the state government is acting upon, and today in Pabho Reserve Forest over 500 hectares of land will be cleared off. All proper measures are being taken. More than 800 police personnel have been deployed out here in order to ensure that smoothly this eviction eviction drive is carried out, and also apart from the police personnel which has been deployed here with non-lethal gas, all measures from ambulance to fire brigade have been kept on standby. There were several organizations which were trying to put pressure on the government in order to stop this eviction, and also trying to put pressure on the government and thereby creating a hindrance so that this eviction drive cannot be carried out smoothly. But with the support of the police personnel and heavy deployment of forces out here, we can see that the eviction drive is being carried out in a smooth manner. As of now, the media is not being allowed to go inside the area where the eviction drive is on. We are getting to know that due to security reasons, the media is not being allowed. However, sources have been telling us that in a short while from now, the police might allow the media to access the eviction area. With video journalist Asok, I am Anuruddha Bhakat, and this is Republic Media Network. How many number of police personnel have been deployed here for this eviction drive?
More than 800 people are there in the field, and we have other reserve forces also. So we are expecting that we will complete the eviction drive by tomorrow.
Pakistan has been using the people, the land of the Gilgit-Baltistan and the people of Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir as a colony of themselves, and the peoples are being ill-treated. Now coming to the specific issues they are protesting upon, the two things. First is the Khalsa Sarkar tax that has been imposed on the people of Gilgit and Baltistan. This means that any barren land that is of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan, that will be automatically transferred to the government of the Gilgit-Baltistan, and there they can set up the security forces camp. We have seen the people coming out on the roads protesting against the rangers as well as the frontier corps that has come to establish their camp there. Second is that the taxes that the Pakistani government has imposed to come out of the debt that the government of Pakistan, the federal government and the provincial government has taken. They are imposing a lot many taxes on the people of Gilgit-Baltistan. Over 135 items that are of daily use have been imposed heavy taxes by the federal and the state, the provincial government, after which the locals are staging protests. The locals are saying that these taxes needs to be rolled back, only then these protests will end, and the locals have warned the Pakistani federal government that they won't be marching towards Lahore or Islamabad this time, but this time they will be marching towards Ladakh and Kargil, and then the government will realize the power of the people of Gilgit-Baltistan.
Viewers, much more coming up on the other side when asked about accountability. After a young mother and her son lost their lives, BMRCL gives out the most brazen response. And eyewitnesses say that they had warned the authorities. Were they waiting for the tragedy to happen? Stay tuned.
Statements of two crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar after Goa air traffic controller received a bomb threat. Second round of luggage checking went on earlier. Nothing suspicious has been found yet. Authorities will be letting the flight leave for Goa by 10 a.m. Assam government holding yet another massive eviction drive in Lakhimpur in Assam. This time the eviction drive is being held at Pabho Reserve Forest in Lakhimpur, which has been under encroachment since long. Massive fire reported from Raja Utsav Community Hall in Patna. Several fire tenders along with police officials are at the spot to deal with the situation. "600 homes in the sinking town of Joshimath in Uttarakhand evacuated after a survey by satellites. Meanwhile, the matter is to be mentioned before the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court today. A team has been set up by the centre and will be going to Joshimath to survey the area. In the Shraddha Walkar murder case, accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in Saket Court today. In the last hearing, the judge had asked the accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in a court physically rather than via video conferencing. In the Delhi hit-and-run case, accused Ashutosh to be produced before Rohini Court, while all the others accused have been sent to custody as of now. Supreme Court to be hearing a batch of over 200 petitions challenging the constitutional validity of the city.
Anjum sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post? This is also something which is being heard now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
People are questioning you.
How can there be no action after 2 deaths? Can there be no accountability for civic apathy? Crush the civic apathy.
The process has already started. There you can see on that very pole of electricity how the wires has been cut now and the electricity has been stopped. On my left there is one more building where we have seen, this was the announcement which was done by the official there. He was indicating that you will have to leave the place. You will have to go now. You will have to leave as the process is going to start. So these are the live images coming in from the ground, as this was the first of its kind when we are talking about this kind of cracks which was seen, when we are talking about the building which was tilted. The two buildings, I'll go again toward that. The two buildings which has already tilted, these are two hotels. One is Malari Inn, one is Mount View. And there you can see the situation. I'll ask my video journalist Sundar Shah to give you more clarity with the shots, and there we can clearly see what exactly the condition is. And as being looked up by the people over here, the expert over here, this has been informed, this has been told that this is very important to demolish the property. But behind this, if you talk about particular property, then behind these are the residences, these are the houses. So that houses has been already evacuated.
देखिए कि इस पूरी प्रक्रिया में समय लगेगा और आज ही ये कार्रवाई पूरी नहीं हो पाएगी। आज से इसकी शुरुआत है और इस शुरुआत में चूंकि ये मुख्य सड़क है जोशीमठ की, ट्रैफिक को डाइवर्ट किया गया है, इसकी जद में आने वाली अन्य आबादी को खाली कराया गया है और आज अभी कुछ समय बाद जब सारी चीजें हो जाएंगी तो उसके बाद ये कार्रवाई शुरू होगी जो कई दिनों तक चलेगी।
सर, ये कितनी प्रॉपर्टी अभी इन्हीं दो प्रॉपर्टी जो दो होटल है
पहले चरण में इन दो को चिन्हित किया गया है।
अच्छा, और कहाँ से इवैक्यूएशन का प्रोसेस हुआ है सर, इसको देखते हैं।
इसको देख
Viewers, getting some breaking news. Some breaking news coming in after a young mother and her young child lost their lives in civic apathy in Bengaluru. BMRCL statement on pillar collapse is out. Prajwal, take us through the statement. Prajwal, let's take our viewers through the statement by the BMRCL.
Okay, now we are getting information now that BMRCL has issued a statement on the metro pillar collapse, and it is now being learnt that it is being stated that this accident which took place at fire number 218 near Hennur, which is the part 2B of the project. One important thing over here is point number 3, stating that the notices are being issued to the contractor and the concerned engineers who had undertaken this, and the BMRCL has also stated that they will fully bear the expenditure of the injured and a compensation of 20 lakh rupees has also been given to the a compensation of 20 lakhs has also been given to the victims' families as well. So this is some major news which is breaking now. But BMRCL has stated that they are saddened by this unfortunate incident, but the actions of the BMRCL MD says otherwise. Now notices are being issued to the contractor and the concerned engineers. Indian Institute of Science will be requested to investigate about this collapse. And now the main point in this particular statement is about the point number 1, where it is stated that these wires snapped and therefore...
Absolutely, Prajwal. Running out of time right now, but the BMRCL is trying to blame the contractor and the concerned engineers. That's what they're saying. Taking a very short break, we continue to be live and breaking. Stay tuned.
Child crushed to death by civic apathy. Netas cannot take these deaths casually. Does life of the ordinary citizen not matter? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
And a quick look at other international news that we're tracking. Republican Kevin McCarthy sworn in as Speaker of the House following a historic election on the 15th ballot, overcoming a week of chaotic holdouts. The new members were finally able to take oath, and they had been waiting all week for the chamber to formally open the session to begin for 2023. President Joe Biden inspected a busy port of entry along the US-Mexico border on Sunday on his first trip to the region after 2 years, as Republicans remarked him for being soft on border security, while the number of migrants crossing spirals in a sign of the deep political tensions over immigration. Republican Governor Greg handed Biden a letter that said the chaos at the border was the result of the president's failure to enforce federal laws. A rescue operation where 2 people were killed and 5 others were injured, including a 13-year-old girl, by a Russian rocket strike on Monday that hit in the northeastern Kharkiv region. The rescue is still underway as more are feared to be trapped under the rubble. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's first foreign policy speech in London outlines his government's foreign policy orientation, where he highlights the country's China policy. Sunak said that the fairy tale period of UK-China ties is now over, as China's pursuit of an aggressive foreign policy, threatening posture with neighbours, its reckless actions in Hong Kong and repression in Tibet and Xinjiang have crystallized Britain's threat perception. The Taliban issued a decree banning Afghan women from working in NGOs. The decision comes after they suspended university education for women and secondary schooling for girls. Several international organizations have claimed that their regular operations have been disabled in the country due to harsh impositions on women. Rolls-Royce.
Child crushed to death by civic apathy. Netas cannot take these deaths casually. Does life of the ordinary citizen not matter? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Right now we are here at the accident spot, which has happened right in the middle of the ring road, and this is exactly the metro pillar has completely collapsed, and you can see the structure of the pillar from the basement as well. The supporting structure has given way, and therefore this entire structure has collapsed onto the road, and therefore innocent lives have been claimed. And now it is being learned that despite the best possible efforts by the hospital, they have passed away.
Hello, welcome. You're watching This is Exclusive with me, Shavinson, a host of exclusives lined up on this edition. The first batch of Agniveer training happening in Hyderabad. We'll get you the report of this edition, but up first, these are the headlines we're tracking for you at this hour. Chartered flight from Moscow diverted to Jamnagar after a bomb threat. We tell you if it was a hoax call or an alarm. Training of first batch of 2,260 Agniveer commences in Artillery Centre in Hyderabad. Republic gets you an exclusive report. Viewers, Joshimath is sinking. Expert teams have reached to the spot and MOS Defence Ajay Bhatt takes stock of the situation. Civic apathy brushes two to death in Bengaluru as an under construction metro pillar falls on the family of four.
Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
People are questioning.
But when asked to take accountability, BMRCL gives out the most brazen response.
उनको कम से कम उनकी ट्रेजेडी दुनिया तक पहुंची और एक इतने बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म पे उनके बारे में बात होगी तो हम उनके जख्मों को तो हम भर नहीं सकते लेकिन एटलीस्ट उनको गले लगा सकते हैं.
Kashmir Files shortlisted for Oscars along with multiple other Indian films. Yet another incident where flyers in India have now been cheated. This time it happens on a Go First flight where several passengers were left behind and the flight took off. It seems that Go First Airways has now finally apologized. In fact, they've also put out a statement that we're putting out right now. In fact, this is what they say is the first statement that has been issued by the airline where they've apologized to the flyers. In fact, they've also offered a free ticket for travel on any domestic sector in the next 12 months to cheated flyers. In fact, this comes in after once again Republic TV taking up the cause of flyers. So several of the passengers had taken to the social media essentially complaining about the fact that some were on the bus when the flight actually took off. It turns out that the passengers who were on the first bus were actually taken. Rest of them were left behind. This after the check-in process was also done. We'll try and go across to my colleague Harsha joining us on this broadcast. Harsha, just take us through the details that you're picking up. Has the DGCA also taken cognizance of this entire matter? Because we've seen several of the passengers essentially complaining that the entire check-in process was completed, but despite that, the airline decided to fly without taking the passengers. We'll try and go across to Harsha once again in a short while from now, but this is the first statement that has been issued by Go First Airways. They were forced to apologize after the passengers took to social media. Let me bring in my colleague Harsha, who's joining us on this broadcast from the National Capital tracking the aviation sector. Harsha, just walk us through the details that you're picking up. This appears to be a statement coming in only after pressure that was mounted by the passengers.
Exactly, Shravan, we have got to know that there were several passengers who have tweeted on social media and on different platforms telling about the negligence of the airlines Go First because the security checkings were completed. They have passed the security gates. They were in the shuttle bus going towards the aircraft when they got to know that the aircraft has left. Leaving them at the tarmac, the aircraft has left and not knowing that there was almost 54 passengers who were in the shuttle bus who were going to board their bus. Now this entire incident has come into the notice of of the DGCA. DGCA has issued a statement where it clearly says that they have issued a show cause notice to the Go First Airlines and they have to respond and make a detailed report and submit to the regulator in the span of 2 weeks. Not only this, Shravan, we are also getting to know that Go First has also issued a notice, issued a statement where it clearly states that the staff and the crew members of the Go First Airlines have been de-rostered. That means they have been taken off from their roster. Their airlines and their shifts will not be any more taken into the airlines till the investigation is going on. And also they have offered saying that the passengers who were cheated to them in the span of 12 months, any one air ticket will be given free in any domestic sector if they want to fly. So now they are trying to compensate to all the passengers in context of this. They said that they were sorry, they apologized, and the investigation is going on. But Shravan, we are literally seeing every day such goof-ups coming up from the airlines in the midway, and this incident was very shocking because everything was complete and the passengers were left at the tarmac, leaving them in the shuttle bus when the aircraft left for its destination, and after 4 hours they were compensated in the another flight to their respective destination. Shravan, back to you.
Right. Well, thank you very much, Harsha, for getting us the latest details. In fact, is this really enough, given the fact that this is not the first time that such an incident has actually taken place, leaving the passengers in a lurch? Well, shifting focus now to the other story that we are getting in right now with regards to the Jamnagar bomb threat. Shifting focus there. We'll also try and get in our reporters on the ground. What's really happened when a chartered flight from Moscow took away, and thereafter it had to do an emergency landing. In fact, let's take you through some of the details that we have. So the flight basically takes off from Moscow. It was basically en route. Now that's the flight path that you see. Was supposed to land in Goa, but mysteriously takes a diversion and lands in Jamnagar. We're talking about an incident that took place roughly around a little after 10:30 on Monday night. There was an immediate reaction then coming in, because the information that we have was that while the flight was on its way to en route to Goa, that's when a bomb scare takes place. The ATC basically informs the pilot and the diversion then takes place. It takes off from Moscow, the Azure air bomb threat, and it finally reaches Jamnagar. So what really happens in Jamnagar? The NSG is deployed. You also have the Ministry of Home Affairs taking cognizance of the matter, and thereafter even the armed forces were basically deployed. The bomb disposal squad was also at the spot. Finally, as we speak, also we'll try and put out the latest visuals of this very aircraft landing in Goa. In fact, a confirmation also came in from the Russian embassy with regards to this particular aircraft finally making a landing in Goa. Now, with the information that we have, the bigger question is that was there a larger cause of concern, given the fact that you have roughly over 200 passengers inside this particular aircraft. There is a bomb threat that takes place. The flight finally makes a diversion. And what you see right now, these are the latest images now coming in from the Goa airport of the flight there. And thereafter, several of the agencies were also basically roped in to look into the matter. Now, where did the call really come from? That's another question. And whether at all there was more to it than what meets the eye right now. Let me go across to our senior executive editor, Abhishek Hapur, who's been tracking this story very closely. He's been joining us from the newsroom right now, from the Bharat newsroom. We'll try and go across to Abhishek for the latest details. Abhishek, just put this into perspective. You have a flight with over 200 passengers taking off from Moscow, makes a diversion, lands in Jamnagar, and we see almost all central agencies basically being roped in. The NSG was also there. We also have the bomb disposal squad present there. What we understand is that there was a hoax call that was actually made. Do we have any details of where the call actually came in from, and what is it that the investigation has revealed so far?
Well, Shravan, so unfortunately, since the hoax call came to the airliner company, Azure Air in Moscow. The agencies are not very clear what was the origin of the hoax or the mail. But then what the company did was they forwarded the exact mail to the Goa airport, and then from there on it was escalated to all the security agencies concerned. And given the nature of relationship between India and Russia, it was taken in all seriousness. In fact, remember, 10 p.m. is the time when the aircraft landed at Jamnagar, or was asked to land at the Jamnagar Air Base, which essentially is a military air base with the Indian Air Force and just a couple of civilian flights. But subsequently, we saw 3 layers of checks being put in place by the local police with its bomb disposal squad, and then you had the Gujarat anti-terror squad getting in and doing their own checks. And then late past midnight, around 12:30 a.m., an NSG team was flown down to Jamnagar, and they carried out their own checks. Subsequent to that only, all clear was given. And again in the morning, sweep was carried out by the Jamnagar police, and then the aircraft flew out of Jamnagar for its rest of the onward journey to Goa, which is just about an hour plus from Jamnagar at around 1 p.m. in the day. Now, it has turned out to be a hoax. That's what the authorities tell us, so far as the mail carried this information that the aircraft had been mined and that it would blow up in the air. Nothing like that happened, obviously, because there was no bomb. So from a prank to someone really playing up the minds of the Russians, or maybe something with the airline company itself, because remember, it was a private airline and this was a charter flight, or possibly something with the passengers. But because no questioning was done of the passengers or the crew, they were just kept at the Jamnagar Air Base in a lounge overnight. Essentially because Jamnagar does not have an international airport, so they could not be taken out of the airport and they had to be kept there. All due hospitality was extended, but as of now, it was a hoax call, unless, the Russians come out with something.
Well, thank you very much, Abhishek, for getting us the latest details. There is much more than what meets the eye, something that we'll keep a close watch on, because we still do not have any clarity where exactly was the call made from and whether at all the Russians would be making any further disclosure. Shifting focus now to a special story that we're getting to you tonight. This new year has seen the advent of the training of the Agniveers at the Artillery Centre, Hyderabad, who were recruited through the Agnipath scheme launched by the Government of India. Now, the training of the first batch of 2,260 Agniveers who have reported from across the country has commenced from 2nd of January at the Artillery Centre in Hyderabad. In fact, Republic is the first and only channel to get you the report on how actually this training is taking place. What does this essentially mean, given the fact that this is not the only place where the training is taking place? We are given to understand across the country the training has already started. But let's get you a sneak peek into how exactly is the training taking place. My colleague Aneri gets you this exclusive report.
The first batch of Agniveers under the Regiment of Artillery are realizing the dream of joining the Indian Army. The 31-week-long training took place on a lush green campus spread across 1,900 acres in and around the historic Golconda Fort in Hyderabad. Away from their hometowns and with a passion to serve their country, 2,265 Agniveers joined the Artillery Centre, Hyderabad in the last week of December.
Agniveer scheme, which was launched in 2022. Well, now we see the first batch of Agniveer training, which has now begun from the 2nd of January 2023. And as we are right now reporting from the Artillery Centre here in Hyderabad, as you can see, the Agniveer training which is being given to all these Agniveers who have been recruited from the 25th of December 2022 to 31st of December. As you can see, all these Agniveers who have been now undergoing training at this Artillery Centre here in Hyderabad, right now they are doing is the physical training. This is the very physical ground where they will be undergoing training for near about 31 weeks. All of the complete training of the Agniveers will be completed.
Agniveers at this centre are currently undergoing the first leg of the training, which aims to introduce them to basic military operations.
क्योंकि हमें आर्मी में जाना ही हमारा ड्रीम था। अब अग्निवीर योजना हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा कि हम जैसे और भी यंग को मौका मिलेगा, बढ़िया है, युवा को मौका मिलेगा। पहले भी आर्मी वैसी थी, अब भी वैसी है, बस अग्निवीर है, बढ़िया है, 4 साल की हो या 15 साल की, जाना आर्मी में ही है।
मुझे अग्निवीर स्कीम बहुत अच्छी लगी। ये अग्निवीर का फर्स्ट बैच था, इसलिए मैं आना यहाँ अच्छा समझा, और हमें देखकर जो नए जवान हैं, नए युवा हैं, वो यहाँ आकर अपने आप को ये सोचेंगे कि ये बहुत अच्छी स्कीम है, और यहाँ हमें देख के प्रेरित होंगे यहाँ आने के लिए।
Their course structure includes lessons ranging from the Constitution, basic cyber security, rifle firing, understanding military communications, and others. With this, all are taught using automation technology and specially curated stimulation rooms.
अग्निवीर का जो ट्रेनिंग करिकुलम है बहुत ही स्ट्रक्चर्ड और बहुत ही साइंटिफिक ट्रेनिंग करिकुलम है, जिसमें इनिशियल 10 हफ्ते में इनको बेसिक मिलिट्री ट्रेनिंग के थ्रू अंडरगो किया जाएगा। सो आपके सामने जो अभी अग्निवीर का फर्स्ट कोर्स हमारे पास है वो बेसिक मिलिट्री ट्रेनिंग कर रहा है। बेसिक मिलिट्री ट्रेनिंग में अग्निवीरों को फिजिकल ट्रेनिंग यानी कि उनकी शारीरिक क्षमता बढ़ाने की ट्रेनिंग, वेपन ट्रेनिंग, हथियार के ऊपर ट्रेनिंग। सो आपके सामने अभी जो अग्निवीर हैं वो इंसास वेपन सिस्टम के ऊपर ट्रेनिंग कर रहे हैं। इन एडिशन ड्रिल, किस तरीके से उनको अपना यूनिफॉर्म पहनना है, किस तरीके से वॉक करना है, किस तरीके से सैल्यूट करना है, किस तरीके से वेपन के साथ मूव करना है, वो ट्रेनिंग दिया जाएगा। इन एडिशन इनका बेसिक फाउंडेशन कोर्स, जिसमें कि इनको बाकी चीज़ों के बारे में, हमारी कंट्री के बारे में, संविधान के बारे में और चीज़ों के बारे में थोड़ा नॉलेज दिया जाएगा।
Brigadier Rajiv Chauhan, Commandant Artillery Center, Hyderabad, says the main aim is to empower the youth.
All these Agniveers, like this first batch, which consists of, as I told you, 2,265 Agniveers who are there with us in the center, all of them, after successful completion of their training, will be posted to the various artillery units all across the country. So they will go there, they will join their units, they will serve those units for 3.5 years. And thereafter, as I told you, there is an assessment process. They are going to be assessed right from here at the center and also later in the unit.
Bureau Report, Republic TV.
Well, viewers, Joshimath, that's the gateway to Badrinath and Hemkund Sahib, is sinking. A lot has happened in the last few days. In fact, the Prime Minister's office has intervened. Experts have also been rushed to the spot. And in fact, today, the Minister of State for Defence, Ajay Bhatt, also reached Joshimath. Now, why exactly Joshimath is so very vulnerable? What are the possible reasons? We've spoken to multiple experts to get you a sense of what could be the reason. One, Joshimath is largely built on landslide debris. That is one of the reasons why, if you take a look at it, the soil is loose. Second, it is located in the high seismic zone. Let's take a quick look at the other possible reasons. The land has a low bearing capacity, highly vulnerable to tectonic activity. The other important reason is unplanned construction in the area. In fact, we've also been getting you multiple reports to show how there has been an increased activity. The hydroelectric power plants are also another reason. Expansion of the national highway construction is still underway. In fact, we've also got a latest report coming in from there. And of course, soil erosion due to running streams. Now, all that put together, use of heavy machinery for construction, drainage system not really well maintained. Now, these are the reasons why you're really looking at the situation becoming far more vulnerable. In fact, as we speak right now, there's an evacuation drive that is basically underway. Our reporter on the ground, Anuj, is getting you the latest reports. The NDRF, SDRF teams are all there. Anuj, what's really happening on the ground?
Well, let me give you the sense and the visual from the ground.
The people, they are not ready to work in the field. They are not happy with this demolition drive. This is going to happen. Since from the morning we have seen the condition, what exactly is being happening.
The condition, what exactly is being happening on the ground, there the administration is trying to talk to the people, but now they are saying that yes, they are not going to let it happen and they will be standing here and protesting. As we are seeing at this point in time, this is Jindabad and Murdabad which is going on. क्या कह रहे हैं आप लोग?
हमारा प्रशासन से एक समझौता हुआ था कि सुबह 9 बजे से पहले कोई प्रकार और इस तरह के गुंडागर्दी करके अचानक से घुसना बिल्कुल सरकार की गलत नीयत को दिखाता है। जब तक हमारा मुआवजा तय नहीं होता है और लिखित में कोई आश्वासन नहीं मिलता है, ये हुआ था कि कोई कार्रवाई नहीं होगी और अब अचानक से रात को चोरों की तरह एकदम से कार्रवाई करना।
They are protesting against the demolition drive. I'll continue with the visual. Let me give you the sense what is happening. And there I'll ask my video journalist to give you the visual from this particular site also, where this particular hotel is. One of the families is there. One of the families is there already, and they are sitting there. And police officers standing in the queue. The forces could be clearly seen. They are not allowing anybody to go ahead. But as this point in time, you can clearly see what is happening. We are reporting from the ground, and the people are in anger. They are not ready to move. माता जी क्या कह रहे हैं बताइए, क्या आपका नाराजगी है?
मांग पूरा चाहिए बल तब
जी
मांगे पूरा करो।
क्या मांगे?
ये हमारा जितना पड़ते हैं वो दे दो, हमें जमीन दे दो, उसके बाद आप डोजर लगाए कुछ भी लगाए, पहले हमारे मांगे पूरा होने चाहिए। हमको मकान चाहिए, रहने की जगह चाहिए, हमारी मकान नहीं है, मकान चाहिए हमको। सर से यही निवेदन है सरकार से। अल्लाह बोल हम सरकार से यही मांगते हैं, हमें जमीन चाहिए, छत के बदल छत चाहिए, बाकी हमको 2 किलो राशन नहीं चाहिए, कम्बल नहीं चाहिए। हम सरकार से यही वो करते हैं, हमको ये दिया जाए, हम हट जाएंगे। हम लागू कर दो, हम बद्रीनाथ का जो मिलता है वो हमको दे दे, हम हट जाएंगे।
यहाँ बातचीत आपकी एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के लोगों से, अधिकारियों से हुई है, तो क्या कह रहे हैं?
हमारे पास कोई नहीं आए, हमको खाली नंगा फेंक दे आगे। 4-5 दिन से बात हो रही, हमको बाहर जाओ नहीं बोला, कुछ नहीं बोल, चिन्ह लगा दिया, चलो 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 निकलो, हमको कुछ नहीं ले जाने दिए, कुछ नहीं लेने दिया।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, देखिए तस्वीरों में लगातार यहाँ हम दिखा रहे हैं, we are showing in the pictures what exactly the situation on the ground is. The people are protesting, they are on the roads now, they are on the streets now. Since from the morning, this is the try by the administration over here, so that they can move ahead for this demolition to demolish this particular site. Let me remind you that these are the 2 hotels. These are the 2 hotels, the Mountain View and the Malari Inn, which is affected, and it could be clearly seen. It could be clearly seen what at this point in time is happening. So people are in anger. We are showing to our viewers that what exactly is the condition on the ground in Joshimath is. Continuously, we are showing that how the cracks are increasing. Finally, this has decided by the administration that they are going to demolish first these 2 property. I'll ask my video journalist to give you sense from these 2 property also. These are the 2 hotels. One is Mulberry Inn. Second one is the Mountain View. So these are the 2 hotels. You can see how they have been twisted. So that is why it has been asked, it has been decided. They need to be demolished. That's the decision of the administration which has been taken. Then I'll continue with the visuals. I'll ask my video journalist to continuously give you the sense. Continuously give you the sense from the ground that what is happening. So we are continuously reporting from the ground. This is anger among the people of Joshimath. We are continuously reporting. We'll be right back after a short break. Stay tuned.
Thousands of nurses have gone on strike at 2 of New York City's major hospitals. The walkout began on Monday after contract negotiations stalled over staffing and salaries nearly 3 years into the coronavirus pandemic. Nearly 3,500 nurses at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx and about 3,600 at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan have gone on strike.
So the nurses at Mount Sinai have basically come together to say that we're tired of being exploited, we're tired of our patients being abused, and most of all, we're tired of seeing them not get the care they deserve. We came into nursing to take care of people because we care about them. We come from compassion. And it's very difficult to come into the hospital every single day and know that we're not able to give them the care that they truly deserve. These hospitals have shown that all they care about is profits, but we are no longer treating patients like transactional items. They are people and they deserve respect, and that's why we're out here striking. It's not about money, it's actually about saving lives.
The privately owned hospitals have postponed non-emergency surgeries, diverted ambulance to other medical centers, and assigned administrators with nursing backgrounds to work in wards in order to cope with the walkout.
We're working hard. We worked through the pandemic and we have short staffing. They brought in traveler nurses. It doesn't fill the gap. We still have a bunch of vacancies and we're overworked. So we really need, and it's hard on the patients because we need state staffing for them. So we're fighting for staffing, reimbursements. Our health benefits are trying to take away some of their benefits, but we need state staffing. We're tired. We're doing a great job. We're trying to get through a triple pandemic now. It doesn't stop.
Agency report for Republic TV.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses staged protests at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region. And North America summit kickstarts in Mexico. Biden and Trudeau arrive for ceremony. Arsenal defeats Oxford 3-0 to set up Man City showdown in FA Cup 4th round. Statements of two crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar after Goa air traffic controller received a bomb threat. Second round of luggage checking went on earlier and nothing suspicious has been found yet. Authorities will be letting the flight leave for Goa by 10 a.m. Assam government holding yet another massive eviction drive in Lakhimpur in Assam. This time the eviction drive is being held at Pabho Reserve Forest in Lakhimpur, which has been under encroachment since long. Massive fire reported from Raja Utsav Community Hall in Patna. Several fire tenders along with police officials are at the spot to deal with the situation. "600 homes in the sinking town of Joshimath in Uttarakhand evacuated after a survey by satellites. Meanwhile, the matter is to be mentioned before the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court today. A team has been set up by the centre and will be going to Joshimath to survey the area. In the Shraddha Walkar murder case, accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in Saket Court.
Civic apathy crushes 2 to death in Bangalore as an under-construction metro pillar falls on a family of 4.
Thanks, sir. This is something which is being echoed now.
If you
Will
feel
take moral responsibility, sir?
if you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to
People
resign.
are questioning.
When he's asked to take accountability, the head of the BMRCL gives out that brazen response. Eyewitnesses say they had warned the authorities, then were they waiting for this tragedy to happen?
Sir, 2 hours. 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 2
In more news, Go First is forced to apologize to flyers after the flight leaves more than 50 passengers behind in Bangalore.
उनको कम से कम उनकी ट्रेजेडी दुनिया तक पहुंची और एक इतने बड़े प्लेटफॉर्म पे उनके बारे में बात होगी तो हम उनके जख्मों को तो हम भर नहीं सकते लेकिन एटलीस्ट उनको गले लगा सकते हैं.
It's a setback to the lobby. Kashmir Files is on the shortlist of Oscars along with multiple Indian films. We've cut across to these live images that you're seeing on your screens coming in from Joshimath in Uttarakhand. We remember the demolition of certain hotels has to take place and also certain houses that have been marked completely unsafe. But the locals there are protesting. They are obviously worried about what happens vis-a-vis from here on, their future. And I think we'll also have our colleague Anuj, who's been there reporting from Joshimath for the last many, many days. He's joining us live right now. Anuj, why don't you take it away and help us listen in to what the locals have to say, what really are their concerns?
Exactly, Deepti, and since from the morning we are seeing that this exactly is the place, this exactly is the property where the demolition has to take place, but the administration is trying to control the situation as what exactly is going to be the compensation and whether the owner of these buildings are ready for the same or not. But now the condition is different. At this point in time, let me give you the visuals and then we'll go ahead and we'll talk to the peoples also what they are saying. They are saying that they are locals, they don't want it to happen until unless this is clear. Until unless this is clear that how it is going to happen. क्या डिमांड है भाई?
हम लोगों की ये डिमांड है कि गवर्नमेंट बद्रीनाथ की तर्ज पे सब लोगों को जो पैसा कंपनसेशन मिल रहा है पहले उसकी बात करे, वो फाइनल करे, उसके बाद ये सब करे. सरकार ने अभी तक लिखित रूप में कहीं भी ये चीज नहीं दी है कि सरकार क्या कंपनसेशन दे रही है, कहां लोगों को पुनर्वासित कर रही है. अभी से सरकार लोगों के आवाज तोड़ने लग गई है. जिसका आवाज टूट रहा है पहले उसे लिखित में दे दे, आपकी घर का क्या मूल्य है, आपको क्या मिलेगा, उसके बाद तोड़े. ये ऐसा गुंडागर्दी से तोड़ेंगे तो कैसा चलेगा? ये तो आम जनता के साथ एक धोखा है. ऐसी गुंडागर्दी नहीं चलनी चाहिए.
हाँ जी, सबको अपने घर मतलब सबको अपने पैसे मिल जाने चाहिए. जिस तरीके से यहाँ व्यवहार किया जा रहा है मतलब कि यहाँ सबको मतलब जो जिनकी मांग है वो पूरी करनी चाहिए.
So that's something what we are seeing on the ground. I'll go ahead and I'll give you the more clarity with the visuals like what exactly is happening, because from here we can get it, understand that what exactly the situation on the ground is. And as you can see, these are the two hotels which has to be demolished, and since from the morning the process has been already started by the administration. But there, at the end of the day now, this is something what is happening and the people are here on the ground. We will try and talk to some more people. They are also here. I can see some of the people over that side. So they all are protesting over here and they are saying that until and unless their demands are fulfilled, until and unless the administration make it clear that how it is going to happen, they are not going to move from this particular area. That's something what they are saying. माता जी, आप बताइए क्या डिमांड है?
अब हमारे डिमांड तो वही है, जो छत चाहिए हमको, मकान के बदल मकान चाहिए, वो जमीन के बदल जमीन, जो लागू बद्रीनाथ में वो रखे वो चाहिए हमको. दामी सरकार आए हम
ताकि हम अपना दूसरा जगह अपना मकान बना सके. अभी तो
घर है, बाकी कुछ नहीं दिखा उसको, बाकी दिखे उसको, कोई नहीं है वहाँ पर.
ये होटल को
में भागे कहाँ से?
होटल के पीछे ही हमारा मकान है, होटल के पीछे. तो कैसे होगा फिर? अब जैसे इन लोगों को दिया जाएगा वैसे हमें भी दिए तो वही है. और न तो जिंदगी कहाँ पे गुजारनी है. अभी तो हम स्कूल में पटक गए, पटका दिया सर ने.
सुनने के लिए तैयार नहीं है, यहाँ पर नहीं है. 2-3 घर में जा रखे हो और बाकी किसी को नहीं सुना, भाग गए पीछे, सीधा भाग गए.
प्रशासन से आपने बातचीत करी? क्योंकि सुबह से सभी बड़े अधिकारियों को हम यहाँ देख रहे हैं, सुबह से ये तैयारी यहाँ.
हम तो अपने दुख में वहाँ रोते रहे, उनके लिए, सरकार के लिए रो रहे हम.
सर सुबह थोड़ा बार चाय पानी पीने के बाद तहसील में धरना पे जा रहे हैं. उसके बाद दिन में जो आए हैं, आज तो सीधा मतलब अपने घर से बाहर भेज दिया गया.
उनके साथ हो तो ना सरकार को तब पता चला, जो हमारे साथ हो उनके साथ हो जाए, बस यही बोल रहे हैं.
आपसे मेरी पहले भी बात हुई थी, आपकी भी यहाँ
ये सामने होटल नेचर इन
होटल है,
इसके पीछे हमारा घर है
पीछे
और है हमारे 5-6 परिवार, हम हैं सब एक साथ हैं।
आप लोगों से भी कोई बात नहीं हुई?
नहीं बात हुई, मैं तो आज डीएम साहब से बात करके आई। उन्होंने कहा ये 2 होटल तो तोड़ने हैं मुआवजे के, अब हमने इनका वो कर दिया, मेजरमेंट कर दिया है। आज की डेट में जो रेट बनते हैं मुआवजा कितना होगा ये नीति अब बनेगी, वो शासन तय करेगा। आप नहीं नीति कितना % मुआवजा मिलेगा ये नहीं हुआ, लेकिन आज की डेट में जैसे इनकी बिल्डिंग का उन्होंने 2,92,00,000 बताया, उससे ज्यादा ही होगा, क्या होगा ये अभी तय नहीं है डीएम साहब।
आप लोग जो यहाँ आप प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, कब तक यहाँ पे हैं? क्या ये बिल्डिंग नहीं टूटने देंगे?
नहीं, वो तोड़ने के लिए मना नहीं कर रहे हैं, वो कह रहे हैं तोड़ो।
पहले हमारे तय करो ना, जो हमारा बनता है उसको दो बोल रहे हैं, तोड़ने के लिए मना नहीं कर रहे। हमारे मांग पूरी करें, हम हार जाएंगे। जो हम मांग रहे हैं उसको चाहिए हमको, हम हार जाएंगे।
बस रेट का जैसे रेट बता देंगे उस हिसाब से हमें भी रेट तो चाहिए।
जो हमारा बनता है वो मांग रहे, भीख नहीं मांग रहे सरकार से हम, जो हमारे
मिलना चाहिए बस हो गया, और क्या चाहिए।
गरीब लोग हम एक नमक रोटी खा के बनाए हमने, और आज सरकार तोड़ रही, पूछ नहीं रही, कुछ नहीं रही, कोई कीमत नहीं है हमारे।
Exactly the situation on the ground will give a 360 view of this particular area where the barricading has been done. Let me also tell you that this is a track of around 2 kilometers. The route has been already diverted. The people have asked to vacate the place, and this is the main road. But on this particular main road now, this has been categorically told to the people that they cannot come from this particular route now. The diversion has been already done, and this exactly is the property. And there also we are not allowed to go ahead, but as in the pictures what we are seeing is, and you can also understand by seeing the visuals, now they are sitting on the road. So we'll give you the picture. Sitting on the roads, now they have blocked it. They are sitting on the roads now, and they are saying until and unless they will be told that what exactly is going to happen with their future, who is going to decide that what exactly is going to be the value, the compensation they are going to get. They are not going to move from this particular area. They are not going to let it happen. And on the other hand, let me tell you, there are few people who are sitting just down that main gate, and the police is standing in front of them. They are not allowing anybody to go that side, or neither those people who are sitting over here are coming toward this side. But as you can see what is happening now. Now the people are on the ground. The people are on the street. They are sitting over here, and they are saying no, they are not going to move until and unless this is going to be decided that what is going to be their future, what is going to be the compensation they are going to get. And since from the morning, as we do understand, this was the DM, this was the SDM, this was the other official. The deployment was done of SDRF, the deployment was done of local police, as it can be clearly seen in the visuals at this point in time also. Then this is very much clear that the administration is trying to go ahead, as the DM has already given the permission to go ahead with the demolition. But now the people are on the road. Now the people are on the road, and they are making it clear that no, they are not going to move until and unless this is clear what is going to be their future, what is going to be their compensation. That's something what we are seeing on the ground. I'll ask my video journalist to come back a bit to give you a larger picture. I'll ask my video journalist to give you sense from here, so that we can understand that what is happening. We can understand what is happening. There you can see on my right are the properties, the 2 hotels. This is the Malari Inn and the Mount View Hotel. And there you can see under that hotel the deployment of the heavy police could be clearly seen. SDRF team could be clearly seen. In front of them, these are the protesters, these are the locals who are protesting here and saying that yes, they want to make it clear that what exactly is going to happen with them, how much is going to be the compensation that they can get. They want houses, they want their houses in return. They want their compensation. They want it to be decided at what exactly is going to be the amount, and as per the rates, they want to discuss and make it clear everything in written. That's something what we have been told. So this exactly, and at this point in time, is the situation on the ground. This is slogging of Murdabad and Jindabad against the government. They are saying Murdabad. Against Joshimath, they are saying Jindabad. the people of Karwal, they are saying Zindabad and saying administration Murdabad. That's something, the sloganeering we are seeing at this point in time. But the situation is getting worse now. Because on one side, these are the people who are facing the problem. On one side, these are the people who are homeless now, and they are not rather left with any other option but to go ahead into the shelter homes, but to take the help of the shelter homes and the other facilities which have been provided by the government. On the other hand, they are protesting here for their compensation for their future, that what is going to happen. So this exactly is happening on the ground. These are the locals who are facing the problem. One side, the trouble is that they are homeless now. One side, the trouble is they will have to leave their belongings because they cannot take everything with them. On the other hand, this exactly is the situation on the ground, where they have to protest for the future also, that what exactly is going to be the future strategy of the state government and the local administration. That's something what we are seeing from the ground. On the other hand, let me tell you, the DM continuously is sending the reports to the state government and the top officials there in Dehradun, and Dehradun officials are continuously reporting to the center. So everyone is involved. Even the defense minister was here and was giving assurance. The MO's defense was here and he was giving the assurance to the people that they are going to look up into their problems. Everybody will be compensated. But the locals want it to be happen. Locals want it to be written, and they want to make it clear prior any action. Prior any action, they are saying that this should be very much clear, that what is going to be the strategy. What is going to be the strategy? What is going to be the strategy of the state government? So I'm reporting live on the story from the ground. There is anger among the people of Joshimath. Administration is on standby. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protest at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region. And North America summit kickstarts in Mexico. Biden and Trudeau arrive for ceremony. Arsenal defeats Oxford 3-0 to set up Man City showdown in FA Cup 4th round. Statements of two crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted.
Now, there are reports of a massive face-off between the BJP and the TMC. This is about holding Ganga Aarti. In fact, the Bengal BJP has been denied permission to hold the Ganga Aarti, and the police has cited massive traffic congestion, difficulties to the movement of pilgrims by the proposed program. But the BJP says that this is again intolerance by the Mamata Banerjee government. Now, in fact, the West Bengal Chief Minister, Mamata Banerjee, is also scheduled to inaugurate the Ganga Sagar Mela. And this is expected around the same time as the BJP was planning to hold this Ganga Aarti. This is near the Ganga Sagar Mela venue in Babughar in Kolkata.
একটু ওয়াইডে চল শোনো ওয়াইডে রাখ ওর ঘুম যাচ্ছে ওয়াইডে রাখ ওই যে তুলছে
Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is a protest by the BJP. This is Dr. Sukanta Majumdar of the BJP. Earlier he's tweeted saying, why this hate for Hindus, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. And then he attaches along with this, the Kolkata police denying permission for the Ganga Aarti that is, in fact, it was planned to be held today by the BJP unit in Bengal. But that face-off continues to in fact escalate as the BJP says that this is one more instance of intolerance by the Mamata Banerjee government. They said they only wanted to perform Ganga Aarti and the Kolkata police there have denied permission and they are citing issues of traffic mismanagement. In fact, they say it will be difficult for them. It will lead to a lot of traffic congestion. They say there is already heavy movement of traffic and pilgrims arriving for the Mela. This is the Ganga Sagar Mela that begins in Kolkata today.
धरना दे रहे हैं और देखिए कितनी बड़ी तादाद में पुलिस कर्मियों की मौजूदगी है। महिला और पुलिस दोनों, महिला पुलिस और पुरुष पुलिस दोनों में चलाया गया है। तैयारी पूरी हो चुकी है।
Statements of two crew members of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat's Jamnagar after Goa air traffic controller received a bomb threat. Second round of luggage checking went on earlier and nothing suspicious has been found yet. Authorities will be letting the flight leave for Goa by 10 a.m. Assam government holding yet another massive eviction drive in Lakhimpur in Assam. This time the eviction drive is being held at Pabho Reserve Forest in Lakhimpur, which has been under encroachment since long. Massive fire reported from Raja Utsav Community Hall in Patna. Several fire tenders along with police officials are at the spot to deal with the situation. "600 homes in the sinking town of Joshimath in Uttarakhand evacuated after a survey by satellites. Meanwhile, the matter is to be mentioned before the Chief Justice in the Supreme Court today. A team has been set up by the centre and will be going to Joshimath to survey the area. In the Shraddha Walkar murder case, accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in Saket Court today. In the last hearing, the judge had asked the accused Aftab Poonawalla to be produced in a court physically rather than by video conferencing. In the Delhi hit-and-run case, accused Ashutosh to be produced before Rohini Court, while all the others accused have been sent to custody as of now. Supreme Court to be hearing a batch of over 200 petitions challenging the constitutional validity of the Citizenship Amendment Act 2019. Supreme Court to take up the matter today. Days after Rajouri terror attack and ahead of Republic Day, forces put on alert in Jammu. 11 Rashtriya Rifles of Indian Army along with Jammu and Kashmir Police carrying out massive searches across the area. Home Minister Amit Shah chairs key meet with BJP leaders after terror attack in Rajouri. Sources suggest responsibility for security lapse in Rajouri and issues of protesting Kashmiri Pandits and reserve category employees addressed. And a quick look at other international news that we're tracking. Republican Kevin McCarthy sworn in as Speaker of the House following a historic election on the 15th ballot, overcoming a week of chaotic holdouts. The newly elected members were finally able to take oath.
Welcome back. Let's take you across to Kolkata, where there is a major face-off severing between the TMC and the BJP. These are very dramatic images that you see on your screens. A lot of the BJP cadre there already being detained. They are pushed into that local police van and hushed away. Now, this is an entire face-off over a Ganga Aarti permission. That permission was denied by the Kolkata police, citing traffic congestion, but the BJP sees a larger conspiracy here. Let's get our colleague Bisaka from a sister channel, Republic Bangla, who joins us live. Bisaka, what really is the full story here? There was a Ganga Aarti plan by the BJP. The Kolkata police says, listen, you can't do this because, traffic could go haywire. BJP says this is all political.
Yes, Dipti, as you said, that there is a larger conspiracy as it has been alleged by the BJP. They're saying that if there is a problem of giving the protection to the BJP program and to the BJP workers and leaders when this Ganga Aarti is being done, if that is so, if there is a scarcity in police cops, then why in such a scarce atmosphere, the Kolkata police is there with so many officers and so many cops over there now when the face-off is being seen. So the question is whether there is any valid reason for barring this particular program of state BJP. Now the state BJP leader and the state BJP president, Sukant Majumdar, is being detained, and the workers of BJP, they are saying that they will not be allowing the prison van to step forward, and they are just jostling in front of the car, in front of the prison van, and they're just saying that this is invalid, this cannot be done, this is unlawfulness, and if that is being done, they are saying that this is because of the unlawfulness in this particular state of West Bengal. This is not done, this is not fair, this is unlawful, and that is why they are protesting to it. As we all know that the program was about to start from 4 p.m. today, and that would be done up to 7 p.m. And when the army said that there is no problem in this Ganga Aarti program of BJP, the police said that there is a G20 meeting right now in Kolkata, and there is the other traffic situations. Because of that reason, they cannot allow the state BJP to go for this particular program of Ganga Aarti. So they are saying that this is why the police did not grant them the permission. And the thing is, why we are seeing this face-off, this scuffle between BJP and police. It is being very clear that the police officers are not being able to say why they are being detained, why they are not being allowed to do their Ganga Aarti program. This is very fishy from the Kolkata police. They cannot say anything. They are saying that they are not pertaining to the state laws. So they are detaining Sukant Majumdar, the state BJP leader, state BJP president, and other BJP workers in the state of West Bengal in the city of Kolkata. Dipti.
Okay. But, Bisaka, very briefly, before I let you go, we are also getting images of Sukanta Majumdar taking part in a, Ganga Aarti. Is that already happening? Like, what's happening right now? Just 10 seconds.
As I said, that the program was about to start in 7 p.m. in Babu Ghat, in Baja Kadamtala Ghat, different bank of the Ganges, and there is another adjacent bank of the river Ganges, that is Babu Ghat. Sukant Majumdar, the state BJP leader, he just diverted his route to Baze Kodamtala Ghat, and actually, pardon me, he diverted his route from Baze Kodamtala Ghat to Balbu Ghat, and he did observe the Ganga Aarti. He finished his Ganga Aarti program, and after that, after the program was being observed, it was he along with his other workers. They are detained by the Kolkata police.
All right, Bisakha, for the moment, thank you for getting us that clarification. So Bisakha actually tells us that the Ganga Aarti did happen, but it was interrupted by the cops, who said because you do not have permission, that's the reason why a lot of them have been detained. Also, the first reaction coming in from the BJP. Let's quickly listen.
देखिए, जिस तरीके से एक सम्मानीय जज के साथ, न्यायाधीश के साथ जिस तरीके का आचरण पश्चिम बंगाल में हो रहा है, ये शर्मसार कर देने वाली आचरण है। सरकार पूरी तरीके से बायस्ड हो चुकी है। आप किसी भी कोर्ट का बहिष्कार कर सकते हैं, लेकिन किसी भी कोर्ट का बहिष्कार कर सकते हैं आप, लेकिन दूसरे को बाधा नहीं दे सकते। यहाँ पे गुंडागर्दी चल रही है।
And a quick look at other international news that we're tracking. Republican Kevin McCarthy sworn in as Speaker of the House following a historic election on the 15th ballot, overcoming a week of chaotic holdouts. The New York members were finally able to take oath, and they had been waiting all week for the chamber to formally open the session to begin for 2023. President Joe Biden inspected a busy port of entry along the US-Mexico border on Sunday on his first trip to the region after 2 years, as Republicans remarked him for being soft on border security, while the number of migrants crossing spirals in a sign of the deep political tensions over immigration. Republican Governor Greg handed Biden a letter that said the chaos at the border was the result of the president's failure to enforce federal laws. A rescue operation where 2 people were killed and 5 others were injured, including a 13-year-old girl, by a Russian rocket strike on Monday that hit in the northeastern Kharkiv region. The rescue is still underway as more are feared to be trapped under the rubble. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak's first foreign policy speech in London outlines his government's foreign policy orientation, where he highlights the country's China policy. Sunak said that the fairy tale period of UK-China ties is now over, as China's pursuit of an aggressive foreign policy, threatening posture with neighbours, its reckless actions in Hong Kong and repression in Tibet and Xinjiang have crystallized Britain's threat perception. The Taliban issued a decree banning Afghan women from working in NGOs. The decision comes after they suspended university education for women and secondary schooling for girls. Several international organizations have claimed that their regular operations have been disabled in the country due to harsh impositions on women. Rolls-Royce reported a strong record for the year for sale.
Right now we are here at the accident spot, which has happened right in the middle of the ring road, and this is exactly the metro pillar has completely collapsed, and you can see the structure of the pillar from the basement as well. The supporting structure has given way, and therefore this entire structure has collapsed onto the road, and therefore innocent lives have been claimed. And now it is being learned that despite the best possible efforts by the hospital, they have passed away.
Child crushed to death by civic apathy. Netas cannot take these deaths casually. Does life of the ordinary citizen not matter? Debating tonight at 9 p.m.
Anjum sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post? This is also something which is being heard now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
People are questioning you.
How can there be no action after 2 deaths? Can there be no accountability for civic apathy? Crush the civic apathy.
Thank you for joining us on the biggest story tonight, ladies and gentlemen. One of the biggest campaigns that Republic TV and the team at Republic, led by Arnab, have done in the last 1 decade and more is focus on citizen issues. We focused on the need to fight potholes, and we continue to highlight the need to fight potholes. And when we do stories like the pothole story, when we do stories like manhole drains, open wires, people dying on the pavements, people ask us why we do these stories. But today, what has happened in Bengaluru, a mother and son, they were traveling with their husband. The metro, the under construction metro pillar collapses on them. And then you must ask politicians who say that roads are not issues, drains are not issues. MPs who are in charge of the BJP in Karnataka, leaders who say, don't talk about drains, don't talk about roads, don't talk about potholes, but talk about love jihad. That's the real issue. We want to ask them what are their views on the death of Tejaswini and her son Vihan, 2.5 years old. He leaves behind his father and twin sister. That's our biggest story tonight. Here are the headlines. Mother and 2-year-old son crushed to death in Bengaluru. Metro pillar collapses in Bengaluru, but not a single politician or body is willing to take the blame. First incident, they say. They say it's the first incident. It hasn't happened before. That's the official response from the metro body, the BMRCL in Bengaluru. Roads don't matter is what a BJP MP said. On record, said roads don't matter, talk about love jihad. They want to talk about Tipu, they want to talk about love jihad. That comment is haunting the BJP in Bengaluru today. Lives hit. Joshimath has erupted in anger. We're going across to the live pictures on the demolition and the anger on the ground in Joshimath. Let's go across live to that.
सड़कों पे आ चुके हैं लोग, अब सड़कों पे साफ देखने को लोग मिल रहे हैं ऐश्वर्या, और हालात जो हैं वो बद से बदतर जी.
And those are the live pictures coming in from Joshimath. There have been protests for the last few hours, protests that we're going to go across to, and the administration preparing to demolish at least 2 hotels in Joshimath. A day after the Uttarakhand government directed the raising of unstable structures amid stepped up efforts to evacuate families living in the danger zone. Those are the pictures. They've been there for the longest time. Every government in Uttarakhand has known about the threat, the dangers, and yet they did nothing about it. I'm going across to Anuj. Anuj, with the people who are protesting there, their homes, now hotels being demolished. What is the situation? Anuj, what are these people saying to you?
Well, at this point in time, let me show you the situation. These are the protesters who are sitting over here, Niranjan, and they are interacting with the people, and their demand is very much clear. They want it to be clear by the administration that what exactly is going to be the next course of action, how they are going to be compensated. That is something what they are saying. We'll try and talk to some of the people. We'll try and get in sense. आप लोगों को क्या क्या demand है?
सर अभी एक थोड़ा सा ही हो जाए उसके बाद करो.
अभी they are discussing something. They are giving a message to the people. Till then, let me give you the sense from this particular area. When we are talking about this hotel, then let me give you the sense from this particular area, because some of the people are sitting here also. Some of the people are sitting here also, and they are protesting over here. They are not ready to move. That's something what we are seeing at this point in time. They are not ready to move. Police administration, Niranjan is saying to them that they will have to vacate the place because this is the formality which has to be completed to demolish this particular property. But this is the entry. These are the people who are sitting over here. We will be talking to them. We will be talking to the owner and the families who reside just next to this particular building. प्रशासन से बातचीत कह रहा है,
प्रशासन तो ऐसे सपना दिखा रहा है, हो जाएगा। हमको कुछ वो नहीं, जितना हमारा खर्चा लग रखा, हमारा प्रॉपर्टी का नुकसान हो रखा, हम कह रहे जितना लोगों का डैमेज हो रखा सब, उनको सब बद्रीनाथ के तर्ज पे हमको वन टाइम सेटलमेंट हमको करवाओ। वो उन लोगों को पूछो वो क्या चाहते हैं। मैं तो यही चाहती हूँ बस।
तो कोई बातचीत अभी तक प्रशासन
कुछ नहीं, प्रशासन सुनता ही क्या हमारे, हम तो मक्खी है उनके सामने। मानने चाहिए सब सरकार तो हमको कुछ नहीं पूछा, आज सीधा खाली करवाए हमसे। कितने दिन हो गए, आज इतने दिन से हमको सुनाई नहीं, आज सीधा बाहर फेंक दिया। ना नाश्ता किया ना कुछ करा, बाहर फेंक दिया। कपड़े भी लेने नहीं दिए। ये ऐसी आ रही ठंड में हम मरेंगे नहीं तो क्या होगा। सरकार खुद मानने चाह रही है हमको, दम करने चाह रही, जहर ला के मार देना।
सरकार देखिए कह रही है लगातार कि आप लोगों को कंपनसेट करेगी।
हमारे नहीं कमल नहीं चाहिए, हम भिखारी नहीं है। कमल भी नहीं चाहिए, राशन भी नहीं चाहिए, हम भिखारी नहीं है। उनको चाहिए तो कमल हम देते, हमको कमल भी नहीं चाहिए। हमको जो हमारी मांग है वो पूरी कर दो, बस हो गया।
सरकार कहती है कि आपकी जो बातें हैं वो सारी बातें सुनेगी, धीरे धीरे करके ये सारी बातें आज रक्षा राज्य
धीरे धीरे जब टूट जाएगा, जब मरेंगे हम यहाँ, जब हम मरेंगे तब सुनेंगे, वो नहीं सुनेगी। सरकार सुनने वाली है ही नहीं।
आप लोग कहते हैं पहले आप लोगों को बता दिया जाए कि किस तर्ज पे आगे बढ़ना है, क्या क्या कंपनसेट करना है या क्या
हमारा जो जितना मैं बता रही, कितने बार बता दिया हमने, जितना प्रॉपर्टी का नुकसान हो रखा है वो बद्रीनाथ के तर्ज पे सब लोगों का, हमारे सबका वन टाइम मेरा सेटलमेंट कर दो और हम तोड़ने को मना नहीं करें बस।
This is the situation on the ground, Niranjan. Let me give you the sense from that side also now. There you can see the huge protest which is going on. These are the locals who are residing nearby, and these are the people who have been already evacuated. They are not living in their houses now. They are living in the shelter homes. But they have gathered over here now because this was the demolition process which was to start in the morning. Then from the morning we were seeing that the administration people was here and they were all set to go with the demolition. But what happened next is in front of us. क्या डिमांड है आप लोग की?
डिमांड नहीं, हम ये बोल रहे हैं आपने जो भी यहाँ पे हो, ये कोई भूकंप नहीं आया है, ये सरकार की गलती है। जब आपको पता था 1976 की आपके पास रिपोर्ट थी कि ये जब इतना संवेदनशील क्षेत्र है और उसके बावजूद भी आपने इतने बड़े बड़े संस्थान यहाँ पर बसाए, चाहे आप यहाँ पे ITBP लो, चाहे आप यहाँ पे सेना लो, चाहे यहाँ पे DRL आप लो, और यहाँ तक कि अभी रेलवे स्टेशन यहाँ पे बनाया जा रहा था, सारे जगह निशान किया, एक बड़े भूभाग को और लिया। और उसके अलावा आपने यहाँ पे उसके बाद इतनी सारी परियोजनाएं, आपने बाईपास का यहाँ पर काम, और आप बोल रहे कि आपका एक छोटा सा मकान बनाने से ये दूसरा, क्यों? क्योंकि उसको अपनी गलती छुपानी थी। आप ये बताइए, एक मामूली से इंसान को, एक ग्रामीण को, इस जगह रहने वाले को, उसको क्या पता है कि यहाँ पे पर्यावरण में क्या चल रहा है और क्या रिपोर्ट आई है? तो
सरकार को देखिए, मुख्यमंत्री यहाँ आए थे।
और एक बात सुनिए, आप एक चीज और बोलना चाहता हूँ मैं, इतना सब होने के बावजूद भी यहाँ पर आपको क्या मालूम है, यहाँ पर डिप को बसाया जा रहा था। डिप आप समझते हो, कम से कम 5-6 कंपनियां, जितनी यहाँ पर जोशीमठ की जनसंख्या है उससे कम से कम 4 या 5 गुना लोगों को और यहाँ पे लाया जा रहा था। और आप लोगों को सब कुछ, आपके पास रिपोर्ट होते हुए भी, आपके पास सारी जानकारी भी होते हुए, तो हम ये कह रहे हैं कि हम कोई भीख नहीं मांग रहे हैं, ये आपकी गलतियों की वजह से हुआ है, आपने गलत किया है जिसकी सजा हम सब लोग भुगत रहे हैं। तो आपकी गलतियों का जो हट जाना है वो आप लोगों को हमको
क्या वो हट जाना, किस तरीके से हट जाना?
हम ये बोल रहे हैं कि आप इसके ऊपर हमको कुछ रॉकेट साइंस लगाने की जरूरत नहीं है। यहाँ से 45 किलोमीटर दूर बद्रीनाथ में ऑलरेडी उनके पास बना हुआ है कि यहाँ पर किस तरीके से आपको यहाँ पे पैसा, कितना मुआवजा दिया जाएगा, जो अभी मार्केट रेट चल रहा है उससे कितना गुना आपको दिया जाएगा। ऑलरेडी सरकार इसमें काम कर रही है, तो हमारा कुछ नहीं, जो हो गया उसे तो भूल जाओ, अब हमको आगे बढ़ना है यहाँ पर। तो उसी रेट से हमको जो बद्रीनाथ में चल रहा है, इस क्षेत्र में चल रहा है, उसी के हिसाब से आपको मुआवजा दिया जाए, लेकिन मुंह से नहीं बोला जाए। इस होटल को बोला जा रहा है कि आप ठीक है हम कर देंगे, अभी मैं बोलूंगा आपको मैं 2 दिन के बाद 2 करोड़ रुपए दूंगा, आप मान जाओगे? हम चाहते हैं कि उसका प्रॉपर एग्रीमेंट बने, आप लिखित में दो। आपने तो मेरा घर तोड़ दिया, कल को आप बोलोगे यहाँ पे होटल ही नहीं था, यहाँ पे 2 कमरे का है, तो मेरे पास क्या रहेगा? मेरे पास कुछ ना कुछ कागज होना चाहिए, ठोस बातचीत होनी चाहिए और उसका एग्रीमेंट हमारे पास होना चाहिए। ऐसा नहीं कि आपने मुंह से बोला, कल को तो अधिकारी बदल जाएंगे, कौन किसको पकड़ता रह जाएगा? क्या एक
यहाँ प्रोटेस्ट चलेगा?
तो ये हम चाहते हैं कि जब तक आप हमको लिखित में नहीं दोगे, आप पक्की कार्रवाई नहीं करोगे इस पे, तो आप हम अपना घर अपना होटल हम ऐसा नहीं तोड़ने देंगे आपको।
This is happening on the ground, Niranjan, where the people are making it clear and categorically stating that they are not going to move from this very place until and unless this has been given in written to them, that what exactly is going to be the future strategy, what is going to be the plan of the state government and the local administration, how they are going to compensate them, what exactly is going to be the rates. So this is all they wanted, the clarification that how it is going to happen. I'll ask my video journalist to pan a bit and to give you a sense from this particular area, 360 view to our viewers, so that we can understand what exactly is happening on the ground. Since from the morning we were seeing that how the administration people was here, even the SDRF team was here, and the local police, as it could be clearly seen now at this point in time also, everybody was here and was all set to demolish this particular property. Let me tell you, let me remind you that these are the 2 hotels adjacent to each other, which is being tilted. Like there you can see the condition. And let me also give you the sense from this particular area, Niranjan, when we are talking about this property, why it is important to demolish is the situation that could be clearly seen. You can see this particular crack over here which has came. You can see what exactly has happened when we are talking about when this 2 hotels got twisted and they got lifted against each other. There you can see the condition what has happened. So this was stated by none other but the Chief Minister himself when he was standing at this point, at this particular point. He stated the same. Our first priority is to evacuate the people. Our first priority to take the people out and then go ahead with the other formalities. Yes, back to you, Niranjan.
Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Anuj. Keeping a close track on the situation as we speak. That's the live situation with the protests continuing in Joshimath. We're also debating that at 8:30 p.m. on the burning question. Let's go across straight. We're getting in some live pictures now from the national capital, cutting across live where the Home Minister Amit Shah is present at a spectacular light show at the Lal Killa. Let's cut across to those pictures.
सुख सुविधा में पले बढ़े राजा राजकुमार भी किसी से कम नहीं रहे। के दार्शनिक मनीषियों गुरुओं ने जो आध्यात्मिक मार्ग दिखाया था उसी को ठोस रूप दिया भारत भर में फैले तमाम राज्यों साम्राज्यों ने। दूसरी तरफ थे हमारे अभूतपूर्व वैज्ञानिक, गणितज्ञ, खगोल शास्त्री और वैद्य। हजारों बरस पहले पृथ्वी की परिधि की सही नाप, मंगल और चंद्र तक का फासला और धरती से सूर्य की बराबर दूरी, सब बिना किसी दूरबीन या उपग्रह का सहारा लिए, केवल अपनी गणित, बीजगणित, ज्यामिति और खगोल ज्ञान से। ये उन्हीं पुरातन खगोल शास्त्रियों से मिले संस्कार हैं कि आज भारत अंतरिक्ष अन्वेषण में एक अग्रणी देश है। सहस्त्राब्दियों पहले गणादि आदि गुरु थे अणु को पहचानने वाले। फिर क्या आश्चर्य कि नई दुनिया में अणु शक्ति को साधने वाले देशों में हम हमेशा आगे रहे। योग में तन से मन और मन से आध्यात्म के योग के सूत्र ढूंढ निकाल रहे थे पतंजलि जैसे ऋषि। और आज 21 जून को पूरा विश्व योग दिवस मनाता है। वहीं विद्वान वैद्य मानव शरीर के छुपे हुए राज और हर बीमारी का इलाज खोज रहे थे। सर्जरी की भी शुरुआत इन वैद्यों ने कर डाली थी और कटे अंगों को जोड़ने के लिए प्लास्टिक सर्जरी की। इन भारतीय वैद्यों से मिली प्रेरणा ही तो है कि कोविड आने पर आत्मनिर्भर भारत ने कुछ ही महीनों में खुद बीमारी का टीका बनाकर 1 साल के अंदर टीके लगा डाले। ये दवा हमने दुनिया के और देशों को भी दी, क्योंकि मेरे देश का हमेशा से मानना रहा है वसुधैव कुटुंबकम, सारा संसार हमारा परिवार, वन वर्ल्ड वन फैमिली। तभी से भारत सोने की चिड़िया कहलाता था और यहाँ का बेहतरीन, बेशकीमती, बेमिसाल माल और हिंदुस्तानी हुनर कारीगरी के नमूने।
We'll go back to those pictures from the Red Fort where the Home Minister is inaugurating that spectacular story of India being told through lights and a display at the Red Fort. Going across now to Bengaluru on the biggest story tonight of a metro pillar, an under construction metro pillar that collapsed, killing a woman. Her name is Tejaswini and Tejaswini's 2.5-year-old son Vihan. I'm going across to Prajwal. We're hearing that some more workers have arrived at the scene and are cutting through the mangled remains. Let me go across to him. Prajwal.
Niranjan, we had been pointing out to the fact since this very morning, stating that this pillar is still hanging precariously, and even as we are speaking, we are getting these visuals of the metro workers who have come in here at the site along with the cranes as well. We see 2 workers who are perched on this pillar which is already bent towards the road, and now we understand that the top portion of the pillar will be cut off or it will be taken away by the crane, because as we were earlier, the team at Republic also pointing out, asking questions to the BMRCL MD and also the authorities as to when will this pillar be removed, because another innocent lives can be lost. We are also seeing vehicles which are passing by, but finally we are seeing some sort of action since morning. It has been over 9 hours since this particular incident has come to light, but finally some action being done here. We also saw the traffic police personnel who are manning the traffic now, but also now the motorists are passing by over here and their lives are at danger. Why we say that their lives are at danger is because of this particular pillar that my video journalist is showing right now here, Niranjan, and finally the hook, it is being hooked off. There are binding wires which has been put into this particular into this particular metro pillar out here, and it will shortly be taken out from here, Niranjan. So all said and done, finally there is some ray of hope. There is some there is a light at the end of the tunnel. Finally, at least that this particular pillar is being removed. We are also seeing that that the supporting structure is still dangling dangerously out here. But all said and done now, within the next 45 minutes to 1 hour, it's an operation which will take a lot of time, is what we get to understand over here. There are some engineers also present at the site here. Now, Niranjan, you can see that the pillar is being taken off. It is being straightened on your screens right now, where the pillar is being straightened by the crane with the help of these binding wires which has been put now. But they're also facing a lot of problems here, mainly because of the scaffolding that you see on the right side of our screens here, the supporting structure that we are speaking about here, because that is causing a lot of problem for them in terms of movement, because the BMRCL personnel have not been able to move freely over here because the site was not completely cleared over here. The debris was not completely cleared. So this is one of the problems. We are trying to go near to get in a closer look at the structure as well, and point out the possible faults here, because this entire area has now been barricaded off. You can take a look at it. It is still dangling dangerously now, but the BMRCL officials have finally woken up now. They've finally woken up from their slumber, and then they are taking out this particular pillar. But what will happen to the scaffolding, and will it stand or not? Because there has been around 3 to 4 attempts now, is what we understand. The weights are being balanced. The weights are being balanced now, but will it be taken down completely? That is something that needs to be watched here, because let's focus on the middle part of the pillar here, and you can see that till a height from the ground beneath, till a height of 10 to 12 feet, there is absolutely no problem. Now we are also seeing that the support system is giving way. The scaffolding is giving way here on our screens, Niranjan. It is coming off one by one. The supporting structure is falling off completely. The scaffolding is completely coming off. The BMRCL personnel instructing everybody to move away from the accident spot, to move away from the accident site for now, and this operation will take another 45 minutes to 1 hour is what we get to understand. But over to you in the studios for now, Niranjan.
He pointed out to that leaning pillar which has been dangerously dangling there. It was one such pillar that collapsed, or the extension of this pillar that collapsed earlier, that killed two of them, killed Tejaswini and her son. Let's play out that reaction, that confrontation of the BMRCL, the Bengaluru Metro body, which is answerable, directly responsible, casual response almost to these two deaths. Almost as if two deaths don't matter. Take a look at this.
Can the authorities just get away? Can the metro in charge get away by calling it an unfortunate incident?
Morning, a very unfortunate incident has happened near Nagwara at 10:30, where the reinforcement was completed for an 18-meter pillar.
Pillar crushed a 2.5-year-old. What precautions are they talking about?
Technical people. All precautions were taken. In spite of that, this has happened. So we have to go into the detailed investigation why this kinds of incident has happened.
Does death of mother and a 2.5-year-old child not matter?
To avoid these kinds of incident in the future, first time it has happened, I told you. So till now we are doing this method only we were doing.
How can BMRCL hide between the technicalities?
Discuss with our technical team that to avoid these kinds of incident in the future, first time it has happened, I told you. So till now we are doing this method only we were doing.
How can Metro in charge BMRCL pass the buck?
Calling the team from the Indian Institute of Science, with their help and with my help, my people will try to find out.
How can the MD spew defences and not step down?
Was it something technically went wrong, and whosoever is responsible as far as the manual mistake is concerned, we will take a strict possible action against those people.
Negligence killed 2.5-year-old. Can the MD boast of quality?
Follow the highest possible standard of quality. So till now we have not received any complaint as far as the quality of the work is concerned. This incident which has happened, it has happened either because of the manual error.
How is throwing money after the death of a mother and a child enough?
Listen, that's what I was telling to my colleague from the Kannada media, that both together, mother and girl together, from BMRCL will give 20 lakh rupees as compensation.
How is MD whipping up technicalities in face of gross civic apathy?
We have to see that what is the additional precautions which is required to be taken, or the technology, the method of construction has to be changed so that this kind of incident does not happen in the future.
Would there be any deaths if there was timely action?
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
The people are questioning here, sir. It's the people who are going on.
No, definitely. If any this kind of incident happens, everybody has to be questioned.
$11,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
Thousands of nurses have gone on strike at two of New York City's major hospitals. The walkout began on Monday after contract negotiations stalled over staffing and salaries nearly 3 years into the coronavirus pandemic. Nearly 3,500 nurses at Montefiore Medical Center in the Bronx and about 3,600 at Mount Sinai Hospital in Manhattan have gone on strike.
So the nurses at Mount Sinai have basically come together to say that we're tired of being exploited, we're tired of our patients being abused, and most of all, we're tired of seeing them not get the care they deserve. We came into nursing to take care of people because we care about them. We come from compassion. And it's very difficult to come into the hospital every single day and know that we're not able to give them the care that they truly deserve. These hospitals have shown that all they care about is profits, but we are no longer treating patients like transactional items. They are people and they deserve respect, and that's why we're out here striking. It's not about money, it's actually about saving lives.
The privately owned hospitals have postponed non-emergency surgeries, diverted ambulance to other medical centers, and assigned administrators with nursing backgrounds to work in wards in order to cope with the walkout.
We're working hard. We worked through the pandemic and we have short staffing. They brought in traveler nurses. It doesn't fill the gap. We still have a bunch of vacancies and we're overworked. So we really need, and it's hard on the patients because we need safe staffing for them. So we're fighting for staffing, reimbursements, our health benefits. They're trying to take away some of their benefits, but we need safe staffing. We're tired. We're doing a great job. We're trying to get through a triple pandemic now. It doesn't stop.
Agency report for Republic TV.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protest at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the country.
The situation remains tense on the ground when we are talking about the Joshimath. I'm reporting from the ground, and there behind me you can see the numbers of people, the locals who have gathered over here. They are protesting and they are saying that they are not going to move from here until and unless the assurance has been given to them in the tent that what exactly is going to be the compensation for them, how the state authority, how the government is going to handle the situation. So reporting live on the story from the ground, the situation remains tense, administration trying to control the situation. We are reporting from the ground. We'll be right back. Stay tuned. Time for a short break.
The headlines from across the globe this morning. California on high alert as it braces for more turbulent weather. Thunderstorms, snow and damaging winds sweep through. Thousands of nurses stage protest at two of New York City's major hospitals over stalled contract negotiations. United Kingdom's first satellite mission takes off from Cornwall, marking first orbital space launch. And another mission seen flying around the Kherson region. Speaking about the latest from the Ukraine war, North America. Ukrainian helicopters participate in combat missions seen flying around the Kherson region. And North America summit kickstarts in Mexico. Biden and Trudeau arrive for ceremony. Arsenal defeats Oxford 3-0 to set up Man City showdown in FA Cup 4th round. Pictures of the Air India flight on which a man allegedly urinated on an elderly woman co-passenger to be recorded today. The two crew members were to join the probe yesterday but could not as they were outside Delhi. An incoming chartered flight from Moscow to Goa diverted to Gujarat.
Viewers, it's time for Superfast 50. I'm Shivangi Shukla. Let's get started. A big mishap took place in Bengaluru as a metro under construction pillar collapsed on the ring road. Questions are being raised as two people have lost their lives. According to the police, around 10:45 a.m., the metro pillar fell on the bike when the couple, along with their twin children, were traveling toward the area.
This is an unfortunate incident. Earlier also there have been incidents, but right now our immediate concern is that these kind of issues should not repeat. So right now we have spoken to the concerned authorities. They are visiting the spot, and we have also called experts to come here and tell us as to what exactly has happened, what was the reason for the collapse of this pillar, and what rectification measure has to be taken.
CCTV footage from the moment of collapse has been retrieved, where it is clearly seen how a metro pillar collapsed and hit a bike in which 4 people, a man, his wife and 2 kids, were travelling. Republic spoke to the eyewitness who confirmed that cementing was not done at the base of a pillar and a tragedy was waiting to happen.
We explained every officers, but no one has response and no one has supported us. We asking from past 1 week, but no one care. Now today two lives as a death. After that only 2 आदमी मरने के बाद अभी होश आ रहा है तो उनको अभी वो करेंगे ये करेंगे. 2 जान जाने के बाद 2 आदमी मरने के बाद अभी वो डिसीजन लेने का सोच रहे. अभी भी नो वन इज दिस पार्ट में 2 जान जाने के बाद भी अभी कोई भी जिनका रिप्रेजेंटेटिव कोई भी नहीं है.
The Republic confronted the BMRCL MD who was responsible for the incident. He shunned away the responsibility when he was asked if he would step down, due to which he gave the most bizarre response.
Sir, a 2-year-old has died. Will you take up moral responsibility? Will you resign from your post? This is also something which is being heard now. Will you resign, sir? This is something which is being echoed now.
If you feel that my resignation is going to bring back that life, definitely I would like to resign.
The people are questioning here, sir. It's the people who are going on.
No, definitely. If any this kind of incident happens, everybody has to be questioned.
Right.
Then only whatever is the further action has to be taken, it will be taken.
After BMRCL MD shunned away his responsibility, he served a notice to the contractors and the engineers. In the notice, he has requested that IISC to, in fact, investigate the matter and to provide a response for the same. The Karnataka Congress chief D.K. Shivakumar questioned the state government over the metro pillar collapse in Bengaluru. He further added that this was a result of 40% commission government.
This is the quality of 40% commission Sarkar. When they give 40% commission, what quality they can give? There is no quality. This is a 40% commission. This is the root cause. This is the face of that commission.
Congress MLA Soumya Reddy on Tuesday demanded the resignation of Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai after an under construction metro pillar collapsed in Bengaluru, claiming 2 lives.
First of all, it's very, very shocking that, a newly constructed pillar, which has fallen on a 30-year-old woman and her 2-year-old child. But I think this is a clear case of violation, negligence and corruption of this BJP government.
Karnataka Chief Minister Bommai said that the government would conduct an inquiry into the under-construction metro pillar collapse incident in Bengaluru, which claimed 2 lives. The Chief Minister also assured of providing compensation to the grieving family. Bollywood movie The Kashmir Files has been shortlisted for the prestigious Film Festival Oscars among 9 other Indian movies. While exclusively talking to Republic, Anupam Kher said that this is a big answer to those who called it a propaganda movie. The Azure Air international flight from Moscow took off for its destination Goa from Jamnagar Airport in Gujarat nearly 15 hours after it made an emergency landing at the airport in Dambolim following a bomb threat, which later turned out to be a hoax. A 4-year-old boy who fell into a 55-feet open Borewell in Hapur has now been successfully rescued. Sources suggested that the kid was playing near the Borewell when he fell inside. Family members and officials reached the spot as soon as news spread. According to the police officials, after 3 long hours of rescue operation, the child was finally brought out. Meanwhile, a medical examination of the minor is now underway. According to the PM Modi will inaugurate the 26th National Youth Festival in Karnataka on 12 January at around 4 p.m. The festival will witness the Youth Summit, which will witness the plenary discussions on 5 themes stemming from G20 and also the Y20 events. On the sidelines of the 17th Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, President Draupadi Murmu met the President of the Republic of Suriname at Indore, Madhya Pradesh. According to the sources, President Draupadi Murmu held wide-ranging discussions with the President of Guyana and discussed enhancing cooperation in various sectors, including oil and gas, healthcare, training and capacity building. A joint team of Assam Rifles, State Police and Forest Department have destroyed 4 lakh OPM poppy plants, which were planted in 4 hectares of forest land in Manipur, Noni district. The forces said that the Srikona Battalion of Headquarters 21 Sector Assam Rifles, under the aegis of Headquarters Inspector General Assam Rifles, destroyed large-scale cultivation of the poppy plants in Noni. After the administration in Assam's Lakhimpur began a massive eviction drive to clear around 500 hectares of forest land, the SP BM Rajkhova said that around 450 hectares of land would be freed from the encroachers. Now, the Superintendent of Police of Lakhimpur District, BM Rajkhova, said that the eviction drive is underway and going on peacefully. Amid extreme cold, the top experts claim the number of people are battling heart attacks and brain strokes related to problems during this year's winters. The experts further stated that the cases are worsening when people go out for walks during the early hours and for those who are already cardiac patients. Delhi Saket Court extended the judicial custody of accused Aftab Poonawalla for 14 days in the Shraddha murder case. He was produced today physically before the judge in the lockup on the court premises. The court also directed the jail authorities to provide warm clothes to Aftab. The district administration in Chhattisgarh's Narayanpur has now administered an oath to the villagers, leader and influential people to maintain peace and after a violence broke out in the district. According to Narayanpur Superintendent of Police Sadanand Kumar, influential people and village leaders of 68 villages of the district were called at the auditorium of the district, where a peace talk meeting was organized and urged everyone to maintain peace and harmony in their villages. Now, the DGCA issued a show-cause notice to Chief Operation Officer of Go Air Airlines as to why enforcement action should not be taken against them for what happened after their regulatory obligations. This comes after a flight G8116 scheduled to depart from Bengaluru forgot to board around 50 passengers on January 9th, while the airline shifted 53 out of the 55 passengers to some other flight which was going to different locations. The other 2 passengers were refunded. DMK President Tamil Nadu CM MK Stalin requested his party MLAs not to pass any distasteful comments on Governor R.N. Ravi during the assembly session. According to sources, at a meeting of MLAs in Chennai, Stalin asked the MLAs not to put up any posters against Governor R.N. Ravi. Tamil Nadu CM Stalin made such comments after DMK and its allies have accused Governor Ravi of propagating Hindutva ideology and have further demanded his resignation. Congress leader Rahul Gandhi visited the Golden Temple in Amritsar as the Bharat Jodo Yatra entered Punjab earlier today. The former Congress president resumed the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Haryana's Ambala amid dense fog and biting cold. Supreme Court posted for Feb 14th a hearing of the batch of petitions filed by rival factions Uddhav Thackeray and Chief Minister Eknath Shinde in relation to the Maharashtra political crisis. The 5-judge Constitution Bench of Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, Justices M.R. Shah, Krishna Murari, Hima Kohli and P.S. Narasimha confirmed the date. Massive protest took place in Gilgit-Baltistan against Pakistan government over tax hike. Protesters raised anti-Pakistan slogans and demanded government to listen to their demands. 13 days after protests by people of Gilgit-Baltistan, the Pakistan government agrees to the people's demands. Electricity line rent that was imposed on people has been suspended and no additional bill burden will be applied on them. Days after a Rajouri terror attack and ahead of the Republic Day, forces have been put on alert in Jammu. 11 Rashtriya Rifles of Indian Army along with Jammu and Kashmir Police is carrying out massive searches across the region. Home Minister Shah chaired a key meet with BJP leaders after the terror attack in Rajouri. Sources suggest that responsibility for security lapsed in Rajouri in issues of protesting Kashmiri Pandits. Reserve category employees were addressed during the meeting. Amid the issue of land subsidence in Joshimath, cracks are also seen on some houses in Bahuguna Nagar of Karnaprayag municipality. Rescue operation to begin soon. Delhi Deputy CM Manish Sisodia